Who it will be. It's a Shula. That's right, the same Shula that coaches for the Miami Dolphins. Don Shula's son, Mike Shula, who came of age in a season-opening win against Georgia. As Shula goes, so will the Tide in '85.
Well, I think Mike Shula's a much better player, a much better field general and quarterback than he was at any time last year, simply because he worked extremely hard through the off-season. He stayed here most of the summer on campus and worked out extremely hard, and it's paid off for him. He's smarter. He thinks real good on his feet, and he had a real good spring, and through the fall, during the 2-a-days and 3-a-days, he's had exceptional days, and I think it paid off. I think you see where it paid off in the Georgia game, and I think it will continue to pay off because he's a very conscientious young man and a very hard worker.
He's open. Bell, and it's touchdown, Alabama. What a great performance by Shula. It was a pick play.
I think it was important just to win, you know, starting off on a positive note, but I think the way we won has got to help our confidence, definitely. The fact that we came from behind and we won in a must-win situation, you know, we hadn't done that here for a while, and I think, you know, it's got to help our confidence, and hopefully we can use it for the rest of the season, you know, starting with Texas A&M.
Well, we've approached Texas A&M, of course, because it's a big football game, simply because it's the next. I think it's a big football game also because it's one of the best teams that we'll play all year, or potentially one of the best teams that we'll play all year. They certainly did a good job. Jackie Sherrill and his staff have, I think, have done an outstanding job over 3 years of assembling some of the finest players and finest athletes in America. And they will be one of the largest and most talented teams that we'll play all year.
Well, Texas A&M is, first of all, they have 9 returning starters. And, you know, they're going to be tough up front, and they have a good secondary, good big guys, cover guys. And, you know, they're not as, it's hard to pick up any tendencies on Texas A&M. They mix things up real well, the blitz, the different types of coverages. So what we're going to have to do is, you know, mix it up pretty well. You know, mix the running game in, throw some high percentage passes, some play action passes, and, you know, keep them off balance here and there and take what they give us and just hopefully move the ball and keep our defense off the field.
Quality young man who comes from a quality family who's becoming a quality quarterback. Incidentally, at halftime, we'll take a look at these two coaches who both played for the Bears. Now let's go to Jim Simpson and Paul McGuire. Who's going to be the starting quarterback, guys?
George, in a few moments, we'll know. The big deal is Jackie Sherrill is not saying, although we have an idea, is it going to be Stump or is it going to be Murray? Now, Stump led the team after Murray went down with a broken ankle after the first 3 games of last year. Murray gets an extra year, and so he can be a 5-year player in football. Stump in his career, less than 50%, primarily a runner. Calvin Murray can run the ball, but a much better passer with 18 touchdown passes, and he's won 7 out of 10 ball games as a starter. That's the situation, and Jackie Sherrill will let us know. We know Mike Shula's on the other sideline of scrimmage. But, Paul, you start on defense. So let us have you talk about defense and a couple of outstanding collegiate linebackers.
Well, you're not kidding. We're looking at 2 All-Americans in this game. Cornelius Bennett of Alabama, 6'4", 215 pounds. They say he runs a 4.4 40. I kind of doubt that. Maybe in college he will end up being a safety. But this young man, not only does he have great reflexes, he is so strong taking on guards, taking on backs coming out of the backfield. He makes things happen. Then when you look at the other side, Texas A&M, we've got another All-American candidate, Johnny Holland, 6'1", 215 pounds, excellent speed, very smart player. This is the man that makes the defense for Texas A&M move, and that's why when you take a look at Johnny Holland in the 9 guys that they have returning on their defense, Jim, I have the feeling that Alabama must throw the football.
All right, he was a quarterback, you know, in high school. Never played. When he first played linebacker, he became an all-conference linebacker. Coming out on the field now, Texas A&M, their first game of this year. They won their last 2 of last year over top 20 teams, Texas Christian, and then they annihilated Texas on their final game of the season under Jackie Sherrill. And here comes Alabama under Ray Perkins. Their worst season in 25 years last year, but they won 1 this year and look for number 2 tonight. We'll come back to Legion Field in a moment with a kickoff. Alabama and Texas A&M. Beautiful night for football at Legion Field, Birmingham, Alabama. The temperature is 65 degrees at game time. A very mild wind out of the east. Humidity 30% and little or no chance of rain. Texas A&M and Alabama And their coaches, Jackie Sherrill and this man, Ray Perkins, recruited on the same day by the same Alabama assistant coach, played their careers together at Alabama, were on 2 national championship teams together, and here they are meeting for the first time, and this is only the 3rd time that Alabama and A&M have won before, and when they won before or lost before, it was in 2 separate Cotton Bowls, the Cotton Bowls of 1942 and 1968. So they're meeting on a regular game basis for the first time. Alabama will receive the ball, and Texas A&M will kick it off. Alabama fresh from their victory over Georgia, which edged Baylor today in a come behind. Now again about Jackie and Ray. As we said, both signed as scholarships the same day by the same coach. Both were signed as fullbacks. Perkins became a receiver, and Jackie Sherrill played 7 different positions here. And as we said, members of the 64 and 65 national championships, and both led in all 3 of their varsity seasons. And now they come back as friends, as former teammates who played under the Bear Bryant. Ray Perkins succeeded Bear Bryant at Alabama, and Jackie Sherrill is at Texas A&M, where Bear Bryant brought them and John David Crow to national attention.
Did you mention where Jackie Sherrill's daughter goes to school?
She's a freshman at the University of Alabama, of course. Elizabeth. This is the kind of game that everybody's looking forward to, and Alabama will give us a chance right away to see whether or not they're going to be conservative or whether they're going to open it up. The man to kick off for Texas A&M will be Eric Franklin. Here's some of the scores of the day as you take a look at Reveille, the mascot of the Aggies. Rutgers and Florida tied. That's the big surprise. Auburn came from behind to take Southern Mississippi 29-18. Iowa over Drake 58-0. Tennessee, what a come from behind. UCLA had to tie them. LSU beat North Carolina. Maryland buried Boston College. And now you see, teeing it up, Scott Slater, who will kick it off. Eric Franklin handles all of the field goals and points after, but Eric Slater will handle the kickoffs. And deep is young Mr. Humphreys. Young because he's a freshman. Bobby's the man who's standing about 3 or 4 yards deep in the end zone. Sean Lee is to the left, and Chester Bragg's to the right. And the crowd is in mid-season form at Legion Field.
Don't you love college football, Jim? They get here 3 hours ahead of time. They fill up the stands.
Here's Scott Slater's kickoff. And this is the freshman Bobby Humphreys at the 3-yard line. 15, 20, got speed. Knocked out of bounds across the 35-yard line by Scott Slater, the kicker. We know that Mike Shula will be the quarterback. He led them from behind in the last 50 seconds on Labor Day night against Georgia. Chester Bragg's number 30. Kerry Good is out, number 35, the regular starting halfback. So Chester Bragg's 30 will take his spot. Craig Turner, 44, the fullback. Greg Richardson, 17, the split end. Al Bell, who caught the winning pass against Georgia, number 1, the flanker. Thornton Chandler, 81, the tight end. The interior line in a moment. From the 36. That is Bell in motion. And that is Braggs with the football, who gets out across the 40-yard line. David Johnson and Larry Rose, he's a Rushmore, are the tackles. David Gilmer and Bill Condon, the guards, and Wes Neighbors at center. Now defensively, the front 3, Rob Sandler, 99, Sammy O'Brien, the nose tackle, 90, Jay Muller, 82, the end. The linebackers, Todd Howard, 73, Larry Kilm, 65, Johnny Holland, 11, Steve Bullitt, 66. The corners, Dale Austin, number 1, Terrence Brooks, 27, the safeties, Lance Jackson, 5, Wayne Asbury, 16. From the 41, second down 5. And here comes Turner, the fullback out of Gaithersburg, Maryland, very near a first down. And the Bullet got him. Steve Bullitt, great speed at outside linebacker, number 66. And it is close to, Paul, or they have, I think they're just shy of the first down, 3rd and inches.
We're taking a look at the backfield. This is Turner, and the man blocking out front is Braggs. But look at Bullitt. He's a linebacker. Takes on the blocker in front, but the problem is it didn't stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
They bring in 2 tight ends. Howard Cross comes in as Bell goes out on short yardage. 2nd and inches. They give it to Braggs, and Braggs has got the first down out near the 48-yard line. First down when the first minute and a half of play. Alabama took the ball, and on a fine return by Bobby Humphries, the freshman, out to the 36, they picked up a first down at the 48.
Johnny Holland's the kind of player, I said he makes things happen. Watch, he's trying to anticipate. Now jump up, looking for the back Braggs to jump up, but Braggs went underneath. Holland was knocked out. They pick up the first down.
Richardson comes left, and now Bell goes to the right. First down from the 48. Braggs carrying the football again. He's across midfield and down to the 48-yard line, where he is put down there by number 27, Terrence Brooks, the right cornerback, the sophomore. Johnny Holland was over there to help out. And it is 2nd down and 6 to go. A lot of folks said in beating Georgia, Alabama did not meet a very strong ball club. After all, they'd lost, had not won in the last 5 games, but Georgia came from behind today to knock off Baylor, demonstrating that the Bulldogs may be on the rise again. Bell right, Richardson left on 2nd down. And first man through is Turner. Turner's got the first down to the 40-yard line of Texas A&M. And there's the mascot, the elephant of the Crimson Tide.
Jim, 2 good blocks. One, Wes Neighbors, 54, Bill Condon, 77, and he go right up the middle. Watch Condon. He's blocking on O'Brien. They get the block there, and out comes Turner. Pick up another first down.
Ball at the 41-yard line. We asked where the elephant came from as you look again at Holland. And they said a moving company years ago that used to haul around the equipment had an elephant on the side of its van that took all the Alabama football gear. And that's where it came from. Braggs again, and this time for not much. Inside the 40-yard line. And that is about it. Johnny Holland is down at the bottom again, along with number 65, Lamar Kelm, the other inside linebacker. Ball just inside the 39-yard line. 2nd down and 8 to go.
You know, when you look at a play like that and you see Holland make a play and O'Brien make a play, but Rod Sadler, number 99, just stood up the right tackle, who was Larry Rose, and just forced the play to the inside.
Richardson and Bell, the wide receivers. Split backs. Shula hands to Braggs. Big open hole. Braggs makes a good cut inside the 30-yard line. First down, Alabama. Cut down by Lamar Kelm, the linebacker. Roll Tide. That's what that means. That's terrific.
Jim, this hole is wide open. You can see Braggs. He fakes a little bit to the inside. There's a good block on Johnny Holland. He gets taken to the inside. A nice block downfield by Craig Turner, number 44, and they pick up another first down. They're inside the 30-yard line.
First down at the 29. This time Richardson to the right and Bell very wide left with Terrence Brooks single coverage on him. Now Bell goes in motion. And here's Turner, the fullback. And he gets down to about the 25-yard line. This drive, remember, began back at the 36. And thus far, the Aggies have not been able to stop Alabama. Alabama in its 2nd game, the Aggies being tested for the first time in 1985.
Jim, what's happening? This offensive line of Alabama, is it Johnson and Gilmer, Neighbors, Condon, and Rose, they are getting to the defensive line of Texas A&M, and that's where the battle's being won because the backs have an awful lot of room to run.
Now they have 2nd down, and let's call it 6, and here's Turner, the fullback, and Turner turns the corner and may have the first down. They'll mark it at the 20. That'll be shy of the first down by a yard. Rod Sadler, the defensive end, number 99, ran him out of bounds. No score, 10.5 minutes to go, first quarter.
Super block by the tight end. Now here comes Turner to the outside, and look at you just go down the line of scrimmage. Howard trying to string it out. He gets blocked. But Austin comes up number 1 and makes the play. But it's surprising to me, as good as this defense is for Texas A&M, how well Alabama's running the ball. They don't have to throw.
2 tight ends for Alabama, 4 down linemen for Texas A&M. They've taken out a defensive back. They give it to Braggs, and Braggs has the first down, I believe, near the 18-yard line. And looking at all of those scores of the day, let us look back as perhaps we'll have to measure here, Paul, to BYU. We left them in extreme disappointment when UCLA upset them, broke their streak at 25 last week. They roared back and knocked off an outstanding Washington team today and won it big. As Lavelle Edwards said, we'll just start another skein, and maybe they have. Here's the measurement. They've got it. First down, Alabama. Inside the 19-yard line. Michigan upset Notre Dame today, 20-12. Schembechler has never lost opening game at Michigan in his life. We'll be at Notre Dame next week to watch them play Michigan State, which beat Arizona State today. Penn State squeaked by Temple, and there's the score, 31-3 Brigham Young over Washington. That's that BYU defense we're talking about.
You bet.
First down from the 18, no score. Alabama with the ball, little mix-up in the backfield. That's Bragg's big hold off the football, but it is picked up by Shula alertly at the 20-yard line. And for the first time, the Tide has lost ground on the play. But they retain possession of the ball, and it's second down 11.
This play was read beautifully. Watch Texas A&M defense. They'll sit in the hole. There's Johnny Holland, number 11. He's the man that knocks the ball out. I said he makes things happen. That he did. The ball was knocked right back to Mike Shula. Finally gets hit by Austin. Mike, as soon as you get that ball, Mike, go down. Get out of there.
Richardson right, Bell left, second and long. Shula hands off, and that is Braggs in just a very little bit for Chester Braggs, starting over Kerry Good as Jay Muller, number 82, the right defensive tackle. And Jimmy O'Brien, I think that's Sandy O'Brien, the nose tackle, number 90, made the stop. But it's third and 10.
Well, we're going to see our first pass.
Haven't thrown the ball yet. You're right. Now, for the first time, Bell and Richardson come to the same side. Bottom of your screen. Bell in motion. Shula back to throw. Has the time. Delivers the ball to Bell. First down inside the 5-yard line. First and goal to go at the 2. That was the winning combination against Georgia, and it has set up a possible Alabama score here tonight.
Jim, I got to believe that they were in zone defense, Texas A&M. What Bell did, he went in motion, and then he breaks it. He breaks towards the middle. Now watch, here he comes in motion, and when he goes back to the outside, there's no one there. Here he comes. They release to the inside. That's Lance Jackson, number 5. Now, I don't know where Ashbury was, but that's supposed to be his zone, and he just didn't get there. Just a perfect strike by Shula.
Bell, the junior college All-American out of Coffeyville Junior College. 2 tight ends now on first and goal to go. Turner's got the football, but not the first down. Submarining to make a good play as a quarterback, Terrence Brooks, number 27. And it is second and goal to go. Ray Perkins in his 3rd year at Alabama. With former teammate Jackie Sherrill across the way, the Aggies have not had the ball offensively. Alabama has dropped the ball once, but it bounced right back to Shula. Then came the Shula to Bell pass. It's at the 2, and it's second down. There goes Braggs, and that's a touchdown, Alabama.
Outstanding blocking on the outside by Turner. Turner gets a block on Lance Jackson. And just take a look at the outside. They seal with Whitehurst, number 82. And then Turner is on the outside. Just no place for anybody to get to. Here goes Bragg's touchdown. That's beautiful.
And here comes Van Tiffin, who's hit 69 out of 69 at Alabama, and going back to junior in high school, 101 straight extra points for Van Tiffin. The big news will come if he misses. He does not miss. 7:54 to go at Legion Field, Birmingham, Alabama, and the Tide has scored first and leads 7-0. Van Tiffin will kick off, and Valentine is deep. Ira Valentine, number 46. Van Tiffin, who just converted the extra point, will kick it off. Jeff Nelson is back on the left-hand side. Along with him, there is Van Tiffin, a junior out of Red Bay, Alabama. Walk on as a freshman, and now going back to junior in high school, 102 straight consecutive points after touchdown, 79 for 79 here. They didn't expect a capacity crowd, but I think they've got one. Whoops. Rolled around. Valentine started to pick up. It's picked up by Nelson instead. This little wide receiver's got speed and gives A&M good field position. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let us look down to see who comes out. Will it be number 9 or will it be number 14 as the quarterback? It is number 9, Greg Stump.
You're
the
right.
mystery
You're right.
is over.
You're right.
Again. The sophomore who went in for Murray and led them to wins over TCU and Texas at the end of the season. Primarily a runner. Keith Woodside, 33, one running back. Anthony Tony, 25, the other. Jeff Nelson, 8. Shea Walker, 85, the wide receiver. That's Nelson prodding in motion. Ball straight ahead. That's Anthony Tony, the fullback. And he gets the ball out to about the 39-yard line. A good pickup of 5-6 yards, let's call it. Second down and 4. Alabama will have, and this is a good front three, John Hand, Kurt Jarvis, and Brent Soule across the front three. Linebackers Randy Rockwell and Cornelius Bennett on the outside. Wayne Davis, Joe Godwin on the inside. Corners Freddie Robinson and Vern Wilkinson. Ricky Thomas and Roy Turner are the safeties. Second down and a short 4. And again, Tony the fullback. Oh, boy, is he met right then and there by Cornelius Bennett, number 97.
Jim, Cornelius Bennett just reaches in and grabs. Watch the strength. We talked about how strong he is in his upper body. Look at this. One hand, he slows down the runner in the backfield, who is Anthony Tony, and he's the man that really makes the play.
Third down and 2 yards to go. Alabama leads by 7. The Aggies have the ball. 3 wide receivers. Stump back for his first throw. If he can get it away, puts the ball up. Diving catch. Is it good? If it is, it's a first down. That is Anthony Tony out of the backfield, and it is labeled good. The ball is at the 44, and it's first down, Texas A&M.
Anthony Tony makes this catch, but Cornelius Bennett was in a position that looked like he was going to be able to intercept the ball, but he gets knocked off. There's the defense, and they are good. You were talking about it. That's Soule that's in the backfield. But just take a look at this throw. Anthony Tony went after the ball, made the catch going down, first down at the 44.
6:25 to go, first quarter, Legion Field, 7-0 Alabama. First down, Texas A&M on their own 44. Woodside, the man in motion. Tony, the man with the ball. And look out, that is Rockwell, the outside linebacker, making the stop. The sophomore out of Daphne, Alabama, 6'3" and 189.
Well, Rockwell makes the tackle, but the problem is that Woodside never blocked anyone.
7 minutes plus it took Alabama to go 64 yards. One big pass to Bell. Everything else was a rush, including Bragg's touchdown run of 2 yards. Second down and 9, Texas A&M at the 44. Stump with the ball. And gets the ball on a little shovel away to Woodside, and Woodside's going to be thrown down about the line of scrimmage. That's Cornelius Bennett again, number 97.
Jim, Soule's in the backfield, and he's the man that has Stump. He's also being held. He'll come from the left of the screen. Look at his heads-up play by Soule. He's there, and then Stump just shovel passes the ball to Woodside. Just there's no place to go, and here's Cornelius Bennett on the play. He was downfield on coverage, first of all. Now he comes back in and makes the play for a loss.
Third down and 9 for the Aggies. And Stump gets the ball away, has the man there. First down, Texas A&M. Shea Walker, the split on number 85. And on him was Roy Turner, the free safety. But Walker makes the catch, and it's first down inside the 40-yard line.
Stump doesn't have time. Watch him. He's just jumping all over the place. Here comes Soule against 79. Cornelius Bennett was in there, but this is a nice pass play to the outside to Shea Walker, number 85. First down. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now. Stump is going to be sore because they're pounding him every time he throws the football.
Walker left and Jeff Nelson to the right. And Tony, the fullback, with the football, and he lost the football. They're chasing it, and it looks as though Roy Turner got it for Alabama. 2 fumbles tonight. Alabama had one and recovered. Now the Aggies fumble, and I believe Turner got it.
All right, Anthony Tony's going up inside. Now, he takes a shot right there. That was a helmet that he hit by Wayne Davis, number 58. And Roy Turner is the man that recovers the fumble. That's beautiful.
7-0 Alabama. Back in a moment. Both the Aggies and the Tide last year were in the minus column in giveaways and takeaways. A&M 8 to the bad. Alabama 4 on the deficit side. Thus far tonight, Alabama, as we said, fumbled once, recovered once. Aggies fumbled and lost it. First down, Alabama just over their own 37-0 first quarter. That's Turner with the football, and he only gets about half a yard. Alabama took the opening kickoff, drove 64 yards in 15 plays for better than 7 minutes. There it is Rory Turner who recovered the fumble. And that is Ray Perkins, whose team gets a life.
Who's walked 100 miles.
At least.
Every game.
Richardson nearly on the sideline on the right side, and Bell flanked to the left. Shula on the handoff. This is Braggs trying to get outside and does not get outside, and that's Bullitt again. Steve Bullitt, the junior out of El Paso with great speed, stayed right with Chester Braggs and dropped him down. And now it's 3rd and long. And now you wonder, on 3rd and long before, Shula passed to Bell for the first down, but that was well in Aggie territory. Whether or not Ray Perkins will shed the conservative clothes for a moment and put the ball in the air in his own territory.
They'll put the ball in the air. Maybe a screen, but they'll put the ball in the air. We might have a safety blitz.
Delay of game, I do believe. You're looking over. It's now 3rd and 15. They'll mark it off, and that's our first penalty of the game.
Jim, what Texas A&M did, and I think that's what confused Mike Shula, is they brought Terrence Brooks, 27, the right corner, up on the line of scrimmage. They also brought up number 5, the strong safety, Lance Jackson, up on the line of scrimmage like you were going to have a safety and a corner blitz, and he was looking around trying to make an audible and couldn't do it.
Now on 3rd and 15, Paul, they've taken out John Roper, the left side linebacker, and brought in Domingo Bryant, number 6, as a 5th defensive back. 3rd and 15, Alabama.
With 3 people on Bell.
And Braggs is going to carry the ball for a couple of yards, and that is Johnny Holland again leading the way, number 11.
Well, I don't like the call, and obviously the people here don't like the call either. 3rd and 15. Watch this. They give the ball to Braggs, and Braggs just, when he gets to the line of scrimmage, number 11, Johnny Holland, we're going to be talking about him all night long, but he was there.
Here is Chris Moore. Georgia blocked a punt against him, and deep is Jimmy Hawkins. 4th in the Southwestern Conference last year, averaging about 9 yards per punt return. They've got 10 men up front, now dropping a couple off. Short kick. May get the good bounce, but short kick. Nope, it's not going to get the good bounce for Alabama. Gets the good bounce for Texas A&M. Very short kick. The ball only carries to the 47 of Texas. Michigan State today held Arizona State to just 3 points in winning, and Notre Dame was upset by Michigan. It'll be at South Bend next Saturday evening, 7:30 Eastern time. Shea Walker goes wide and left. Seiler is now in as a tight end. Stump remains the quarterback. 23-yard punt by Moore. And here's a pitch back to Tony, and Tony gets across the 50 to about the 47-yard line.
Well, it's obvious to everyone that they're going to run away from Cornelius Bennett. Here they come. They're coming to this side now. Valentine is ahead. He's blocking, but does he get a block? Yes, downfield. He does get a block on Robinson, number 21. And Anthony Tony, got 5 yards. Tony, I can't call him Tony, can I?
Sure you can. 2nd down and 5, 7-0 Alabama, 1:40 to go, first quarter. And here's Tony carrying the ball again, and that's a good move, keeping those legs moving. Picks up a couple of yards after being hit at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd down and short.
Doug Williams is the right tackle, and he is a big man. He is blocking on John Hand. That's his man. Excuse me, that's Zoll, number 79. They switched over on the tackles. But just take a look at the block by Doug Williams. He's a good blocker, good run blocker.
3rd down and short, and Valentine is in there with Tony, 2 fullbacks. They give the ball to Tony, who follows Valentine, and he is written down by Larry Roberts, the senior defensive end out of Dothan, Alabama.
Jim, I still think he got the first down if it where they marked the ball.
They gave him the first down. Roberts made the stop, but not until they had picked up the first down on the running of Anthony Tony. First down from the 41. Running out of time in the first quarter.
All right, this time they're running straight at Cornelius Bennett, and they handled Cornelius Bennett. They got a block on him, and I think if you're going to do something, that's the best way to attack him is go right at him.
First and 10 from the Alabama 41, and here's Stump on first down to throw across the middle. He has Rich Seiler, the tight end, and picks up 8 yards down to the 32-yard line.
Jim, and these are the only passes really that Texas A&M they're going to be able to complete because of the fact that Greg Stump does not have any time. The defensive line, they are just blowing by the offensive line of Texas A&M. Texas A&M, they seem to be able to run the football, but on passing downs, just take that 7 or 8 yard pattern.
If they want to, Paul, they can allow the time to go off the clock, and I think that's what we're going to do to end the first quarter. 9 seconds on the play clock, only 1 second remaining on the scoreboard clock, and the first quarter is over. Alabama on a 64-yard drive. Bragg scoring lead 7-0. At Legion Field, Alabama, Jim Simpson, Paul McGuire. We begin the second quarter, 7-0 Alabama. Second down and 1 for the Aggies of Texas A&M on the Alabama 33. Stump to his regular Tony, and Tony slips out of a tackle of Larry Roberts and goes ahead, and Bennett comes up to help out, and I think he's got the first down just shy of the 30-yard line.
Yeah, when I said you run straight at Cornelius Bennett, but we're taking a look at the blocking on the line of scrimmage. Now there is the center, Matt Wilson, did a good job. The man he had the block on that time was Sewell, played the nose tackle, but he gets out and makes a block downfield on Rockwell, who is an outside linebacker. Now watch what happens with Cornelius Bennett. I said don't try to run away from him, and that's exactly what they tried to do, but he will run down the play. Soul. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I called him Soul.
First down, and flags go everywhere. By the way, while they're sorting this out, and Alabama is walking back, or Texas A&M is walking back, we forgot to tell you that Jimmy Harper is our referee tonight. Umpires Joe Darden, George Morris, the linesman. Line judge is Don George. Field judge Joe Delaney. John Lewis, the side judge. Billy Tees, great name in football, the back judge. And the clock operator is Robert Caldwell. We'll take the ball back to the 35-yard line for illegal motion or procedure. First down 15 for Texas A&M, trailing by 7. Stump feeds the ball out. That is Valentine, and Valentine gets down to the 35-yard line, the line of scrimmage. And it'll be second down 15. Soul to make the stop.
Well, what they tried is a slip screen to the outside, and John Hand, number 78, the tackle, watch him read it. They're going to try this out to Valentine. It's a quick slip screen. You see the offensive lineman there, but see John Hand, number 78, he's the man that turns everything back in, and guess who's waiting?
That 97 is everywhere, isn't he?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
And number 11 on the other side of the line of scrimmage when Alabama has the ball. Second and long, and Stump must pass. Has his man at the sidelines, and over there making the catch on the sidelines is Nelson. Jeff Nelson, who caught a touchdown pass against Texas last year out of Beaumont himself, makes the catch.
They say Murray is the passer, Stump is the running quarterback, but watch where he puts this ball for Jeff Nelson. Jeff Nelson goes down, breaks up. He should be beyond the first down marker, but he takes the corner. Freddie Robinson runs him off, makes the catch. Now they've got third and about 2.
Shea Walker goes wide to the right. Nelson comes to the left. And Tony is back. There's the lone running back. And Tony's got the football. And Tony does not have the first down. Now Randy Rockwell led the tacklers along with Ricky Thomas, the strong safety, 57 and 34.
Jim, they ran a toss here, and Rockwell, the outside linebacker, he stays at home. And watch what he does. He gets rid of the blocker and then back into the play. That's just a perfect tackle.
Eric Franklin comes in. He did not kick until the 10th game last year. And yes, he is the brother of Tony Franklin, who kicked for the Eagles and Patriots. And when he came on in his first game, he kicked a 50-yarder and a 45-yarder. He's going to be called on here to kick a 40-yarder, barefooted kicker out of Fort Worth, Texas. Hasn't missed as a collegiate. From 40 yards out with a flag up. The kick is no good, but let's see what the flag is. Let's see what the flag is. If Alabama did anything like jump its first down A&M, but if it's delay of game, they'll just refuse it and take the ball, meaning Alabama will.
Well, if it's delay of game, Jim, it's an automatic penalty. They've got to take the penalty, don't they?
There you are. Delay a game, you got to move it back to 5 yards. You're right. Flag was thrown before the snap because they took too long. And you know what? Franklin's liable to hit one from 45.
He hit that one there at 40, and it was going out of the stadium. I mean, it was going up and away. He just missed it. He hooked the ball a little bit this time. I mean, he's got the leg to get it there. There's no problem.
Here's one of the few cases where a penalty, you can't refuse it, and it may work against you.
Yeah, true.
Because Franklin could hit this from 45 out. From 45 out, he's got the leg, and this one is no good either. So he missed from 40 and then 45. 12:45 to go in the first half. Alabama 7, Texas 8. Now you can see Kevin Murray warming up. He is the either-or quarterback. Stump started. Murray, the better passer, took him to a 3-0 lead last year before breaking his ankle. But the story now is Alabama. They are on the field with the first down at their own 28 and a 7-0 lead. And Bobby Humphrey, the freshman out of Birmingham, has checked into the backfield. He is there with Craig Turner. I think a lot of Humphrey and his backup, Murray Hill. This is Humphrey swinging out in motion. A lot of speed, but Turner's got the football, and Turner was hit down immediately by number 1 Darrell Austin. After a gain of 2. Second down, 8 to go.
Look at these. Look at the stats. Alabama 64-58. As I said, it's going to be a defensive football game, and that it's really turning out to be. I don't like time of possession unless you do something with it. It is 7-0. But Alabama passing, that's that one pass play for 16 yards to Bell. But did you see Austin on that last play, the cornerback? As soon as he read run, he forgot about any receivers, and he just took off right for the backfield.
Second down and closer to 9 than it is to 8. And straight ahead goes Turner with the football, and he's got a couple of yards. Johnny Holland leads the way again, and it's 3rd and long again.
They're starting to boo with all this running. There's the militia.
No, that's the ROTC from Texas A&M.
Hey, I went to a military school. I know. Look how sharp those guys look. Everything's shined up, huh? That's right.
3rd down. And 6 to go.
They will throw here. Because of the booing. Not because of the booing, but I think it's the game plan.
Bell to the right, Richardson to the left. Humphrey and Turner in the backfield. And Shula back to throw. Has the time, drills it. He dropped the ball at Richardson. They're going to call it an incomplete pass, not a fumble, and a recovery by A&M. Alabama will have to kick the ball away.
Sorry, my friend, but you couldn't have had a better play call. Richardson ran an underneath route, and he's up on the top side. Here goes Shula back, and he's looking. First of all, he looks over to Bell, sees that he's covered, sees Richardson coming underneath, follow through. Look at this, right in the stomach, and don't try to run without the football, son.
Chris Moore to kick the ball away to Jimmy Hawkins, who's standing back inside his 20. Last time, remember, Moore had a 23-yard kick. Hawkins never had a shot at it. Again, they did not put the pressure on. This has got good hang time on it. Fair catch called by Hawkins at the 30-yard line. It'll be first down A&M there. 11:15 to go in the first half at Legion Field. 7-0 Alabama. Things could be different as Kevin Murray, the sophomore who broke his ankle after the 3rd game last year, will have 5 years of football eligibility, has come in. And Roger Vick, 43, Keith Woodside, 33, will be his running backs. But remember, it is Murray who is about to move into 4th place all time as the Aggie passer, and he's only played 1 season plus 3 games until now.
Interesting thing, they talking to people at Texas A&M, they say when he throws in practice, said they've never seen him throw a bad ball.
7-0 Alabama. Second quarter, first down Texas A&M at their own 30. Nelson, the man in motion, and here's Murray back to throw on first down, and he gets the ball out to Nelson, and that's 6 or 7 yards across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Gang tackle there. Cornelius Bennett was there.
They must not have the clothesline rule in this league, huh?
Along with Lydell Mitchell. And no, remember Lydell Mitchell? Gee, what a running back he was for the Colts.
Oh, was he ever?
Out of Penn State.
Here's what I'm talking about. Is that the clothesline rule? I guess not.
That's Mitchell, 15, coming in. Second down and 3 to go. And flags go down as Roger Vick carries the ball. Vick moving from halfback spot over to fullback spot.
Well, they made 6 yards flag on the play.
Jimmy Harper will probably tell us you're in motion. That's what he does tell us. So instead of second down and 3, it'll be second down and 8. Jackie Sherrill talking to Jackie yesterday afternoon. He said, let's see, I lost a few teeth down there on the 5-yard line. I had a bone sticking out of my skin down there on the 10-yard line. And he said, I practiced at linebacker, and Bear Bryant did not like what the fullback was doing. And he said, get Sherrill back in there. And I heard that, and I scaled the fence and got out of there, so I didn't have to practice anymore. A lot of memories. Southern Illinois out in front of Illinois as Kevin Brown has on a 1-yard pass with 15 seconds left for one of those scores. That's a big shock, isn't it? That is Woodside in motion. Murray hands the ball off, and look at this. That is Roger Vick getting a lot of those yards back. It'll be third down and short, about 2 to go. A&M has been penalized 3 times for 15 yards. Alabama once for 5 yards.
Jim, that's on a top screen. That's Dawson up there and Williams, and they just block out very well. And they're pushing people through the hole. Fontenot is number 67.
10 minutes to go in the half. Third down and a couple from the 38 of A&M. Bernstein in as a tight end. Murray back to throw across the middle, and he's got the first down across the middle. And that is Bernstein, the man we just mentioned. Rado Jr. out of Bryan, Texas, right there next to College Station, hometown. Wayne Davis, inside linebacker, made the stop. But that's the first down for the Aggies across the 40. Only score of the game, 64-yard drive, 15 plays, 14 of those rushes. The last 2, Braggs took it in from 2 yards out, going around the right side.
When you look at Murray, Jim, he gets that ball there in a hurry.
Murray gets it in a hurry.
Murray in a hurry. Okay.
First down, and that's Vick again. Showed some quick movement between 2 defenders there. Just split them and picked up about 5 yards. Roger Vick, a junior, out of Tomball, Texas.
And they like to run to Doug Williams' side, number 75, and we're going to see him right there. He's blocking on John Hand. He just turned John Hand to the inside, and there was the hole.
Second down and 5 to go. A&M in its first game. Alabama in its second. Here's Murray back again, looking again, and that ball is caught. What a play by Shea Walker, his second outstanding clutch catch of this game.
It is a great play by Shea Walker, but I'm going to tell you something, Jim, where Murray puts this ball, they didn't have a chance, and people were diving at it. Let's look at the center now. That's Matt Wilson. His job is to contain Jarvis at the line of scrimmage. They're doing that very well. There's plenty of time to throw the football. Wilson did his job, and Jackie Sherrill said that is a key matchup now, the offensive guard. Trace McGuire moved.
With a name like that, Paul McGuire. Kevin Murray has just completed his 178th pass, and that's 4th all-time on the Texas A&M list. Now, considering he's got all of this year, plus 2 more years, he may wind up number 1. And he throws the ball extremely well. Those who talked to you and said he'd never seen him throw a bad pass, listen to what they say.
I know. The pass he threw to Shea Walker was just beautiful. The defense had no chance. The man covering was Freddie Robinson.
First and 15 after McGuire pulled up.
Yeah. He spelled his name different. That's all right.
7-0 Alabama as Roger Vick carries the ball for a few yards. And Larry Roberts again made the stop. Outstanding crowd. They've been waiting for Alabama's opener. The game against Georgia excited the folks. And, of course, some of those here are from Texas A&M. And the Aggies wound up beating 2 teams in the top 20 at the end of last year, Texas Christian and Texas. Second down 12. Murray back. Quick drop. Has time. Now will run. Still run and get out of bounds. And now he's thrown out of bounds. And we're seeing if a flag is thrown over there, but there's none thrown. Cornelius Bennett was the man who rode him right out of bounds.
Kevin Murray, I know he saw 97 Cornelius Bennett coming after him. Watch what he does. He's trying to get to the sidelines as fast as he can. He takes off. He waited a little bit too long. But here comes Cornelius Bennett. Look at this. But we got to understand something. You're looking for a late hit? No, because he hit Murray inside the playing field. It took him right out.
Third down and 9. Bernstein, the tight end, goes to the right side. Both wide. They got confusion. They've got confusion. They had too many people over there, and Murray calls timeout. 7:57 to go in the half. Alabama 7, Texas A&M nothing. Tonight, Southern Illinois trying to upset Illinois and give the Illini their second loss in a row, 14-6 at halftime. Mississippi State, with an interception setting up the touchdown lead, Syracuse 7-0, and Oklahoma State and North Texas State on field goals are tied at 3-all. Third down and 8 to go. Murray running for his life. Has time now, throws and overthrows his man. That was Jeff Nelson at the 18-yard line. It's 4th down.
He overthrew Nelson, but he also had Shea Walker sitting in the end zone all by himself. But when you're running for your life, it's tough to find out. Take a look. Defensive line again, a lot of pressure on Murray. He sees him coming. That's Jarvis 95 chasing. Murray gets out now. He gets a good block there. Now he'll set up. Just threw the ball too high. And here's Nelson. He's open right there. But behind him in the end zone was Shea Walker, number 85, and he was open.
7:50 to go, and the Aggies will have to give up the football, but they're going to run a play on 4th down. Stump has come back in. He is also a punter. But remember, he is also the quarterback. So he may be punting instead of Todd Chance, and he is punting, hoping to get it inside the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10-yard line if they can ever track it down. Good play. Stump does a good job. 7:39 to go. Alabama is backed up but leading. How soon it will be before that falls off, but before it does, we'll tell you that George Grant will be here at halftime with all the scores of the day and the night. And also a feature on Ray Perkins and Jackie Sherrill, who are teammates at Alabama, now opposing coaches. Ball is backed up to the 7-yard line. Braggs is in as a halfback again. Turner carries the ball and gets to about the 9 with Samuel Bryant, number 90, hanging on the nose man, and it's going to be 2nd down and 8 to go from the 9-yard line.
This kind of reminds you a little bit of that Georgia-Alabama game. When they got ahead, they're just going to be conservative and just take their time and don't make any mistakes. They feel the defense can handle anything that Texas A&M's throwing at them.
Now Richardson and Bell both come to the right side. Yep, man, that is Turner. And Turner carries a few people with him out to the 13-yard line. That'll be 3rd down and nearly 5 to go. The Aggies, as many people do, constantly change players on defense, running in and out linebackers, down linemen, and defensive backs, depending on the situation.
Johnny Holland made the tackle. Can you imagine if John Holland and Cornelius Bennett were on the same team? That's the only 2 names you'd use all night long.
I'd know their numbers, number 1 and 97. Sure. 3rd down. A long 4 to go. Bell, the man in motion, and that's Braggs with the ball, and he's not going to get the 1st down. Just gets to the 15-yard line, and that is all. He is stuffed immediately, and you can see the man that really hit him there was O'Neal Gilbert, the freshman, defensive end, number 55.
Well, look at Johnny Holland. You think, look at 2 blockers. He just pushes them both aside, and he gets in there. Gilbert was also in there, number 55, but Johnny Holland right there to make the play.
Chris Moore to kick the ball away to Jimmy Hawkins. Moore standing on his own 1. Alabama's opening drive is the only score of this game. Nice kick here, but fair catch called for, even though nobody was anywhere near. Hawkins looked as though he was going to have a chance to run up and catch that ball on the dead run, but called for a fair catch, hit 20 yards in front of him. George, we look forward to it. 1st down for the Aggies, the ball on their own 44-yard line. They trail 7-0. As Woodside in motion, here's Murray delivering the ball. Woodside makes the catch. Down he goes with Randy Rockwell making the tackle. Gain of 8. Moves the ball into Alabama territory at the 49, 2nd down and 2.5.
Yeah, but Murray was very, very slow getting up. He's taking a shot. They've got a four-man rush, Jim. They've got Cole in there, number 51, as the nose tackle. Good throw, high, and with good hands like Woodside has. That's all right.
Larry Roberts out of Dothan has been in the Texas A&M backfield all night long, number 87, and somebody may have moved again. This, by my count, Paul, is 3 times that they've come to the line of scrimmage, and with hardly a count, someone has moved.
And you know that I think all 3 times, Jim, they were in a 2nd and 2 or 3 situation.
False start.
I know at least 2 of the 3. You may be right about all 3. Oh, it is 2nd down from the 45.5.
And when you're struggling on offense, Jim, like Texas A&M, they're doing, and especially in this first half, it's very difficult for the team to collect themselves and come back at it.
Here's Murray. Murray gets the ball away, and it is caught across the way by Nelson. Run out of bounds by Freddie Robinson, but first down inside the 35-yard line.
Jim, I think it was Roberts that hands him his lunch right after he throws the ball, but he makes a great pass to Nelson. Here comes Murray. He's going to step up. Is that 87? That sure is. That's Roberts on one side, and I can't see who the man is on the bottom. But look at, he gets the ball over Rockwell and right into the hands of Nelson. Freddie Robinson was not even close. That was a beautiful pass.
First down, 33-yard line. 4:45 to go in the half. 7-0 Alabama. Woodside, the man in motion. Whoops.
Murray fumbled the ball. Did Bama get it?
I don't know. I could only say whoops because I didn't see who did get it.
When they all start pointing that they have it, that means they didn't get it.
We'll see. They've already had 1 turnover, Alabama, or rather Texas A&M. Matt Wilson may have gotten it back. He's their center. Watch Matt Wilson, the sophomore out of Spring, Texas. He has got a big job behind all Southwestern Conference Matt Darwin of other years. He has since graduated. Looks like Tony got the ball back. 2nd down and 9. So there was a mistake on another illegal procedure call. They overcame that. First down. They fumbled the ball. Overcame that as far as getting the ball back. Now it's 2nd and 9. And here's Murray back, looking for Nelson, and overthrows him. And oh, does Wilkinson want that back? Vernon Wilkinson had that ball right in his hands. Well, Murray may not throw many bad passes, but that was one.
Well, he did. I think Vernon Wilkinson said, look what I have. When you see Nelson go down, watch, he fakes like he's going to jump up, and he realized, I can't get this ball even if I do jump up, so I'm not going to. And it hits Wilkinson right in the hands, and he dropped the ball.
3rd down from the 32-yard line, 9 yards to go. 2 wide receivers to the left, and Woodside flank left. Murray looking left. Gets the ball. Boy, does he drill that ball to Shea Walker. First down inside the 10-yard line. Wayne Davis, inside linebacker, put him down. 1st and goal to go. Texas A&M trailing by 7. 4:12 left in the half.
You say he was a pitcher? I'll tell you what. Can he throw a football? Watch this. And you said it right on the money when you watch him drill this ball in here to Shea Walker. He steps up. He sees Walker coming across the middle. And look at that fire. That follow-through. Looked like a baseball player. He hit him right on the number.
First down from the 8-yard line. Tony, the ball carrier. And again, that is Larry Roberts, first to get to him, number 87. Got him in the backfield, and Tony fell ahead.
Somebody threw a shoe.
2nd down.
I don't know if they called timeout. Is there a motion by the offense?
A dead ball. Offensive false start.
That's 4 by my count.
You know, this, yeah, you're right, Jack. You can't make these mistakes offensively when you're struggling to get your team moving the ball.
Think what Texas A&M would be doing had they not had all of these mistakes on this one drive.
Yeah.
As it is, they're doing fairly well. The ball inside the 13-yard line. First down and goal to go. Now the Aggies call timeout. 3:52 to go. Texas A&M, 1st and goal to go from the 13, has called timeout, trailing 7-0. We'll remind you that next Saturday night, Paul and I will be out in South Bend, Indiana. Michigan State, which beat rather decisively Arizona State today, allowing them with 3 points, plays Notre Dame, which lost its opener in a thriller to Michigan today when they couldn't get the ball in the end zone on many first-half tries. But we'll have that game next Saturday night. This is the only score of the game, a 64-yard drive with 7:54 to go. Braggs took it over from the 2-yard line, running to the right side. 15 plays, only one of those was a pass, and that was on 3rd down when Mike Shula hit Al Bell for a big first down inside the 5-yard line. There is Kevin Murray, the sophomore out of Dallas. He can fire the football, but his linemen are making some mistakes when they come to the ball.
Pass to Shea. If Shea didn't catch it, it would have stuck in his chest anyway.
Shea Walker is down to the left. Nelson to the right. First down.
Corner blitz. Corner blitz. Oh, the
Call
offense.
time. Call time. Flags go down, but I believe that Murray had his hand up to call time as the people were moving. Well, if it's first and 18 to go, they're not going to allow that timeout. Murray stood up and said, "I want time."
You can't call 2 timeouts in a row, can you?
I don't think you can.
The dead ball.
I don't think you can either. That's why.
But in any event, they get another penalty. Here it was, first down inside the 8-yard line. 2 dead ball fouls, each time movement, and it's first down from the 18-yard line. They have really done a great job of stopping themselves thus far in this drive, the Aggies. Crowd makes it tough for those linemen to hear. Here's Murray. He's got a man in the end zone if he sees him, but he doesn't, so he's going to run and go down inside the 10. He had a man all by himself in the end zone, but running around back there, Kevin Murray could not see him.
It's easy for you to say, pal, because you don't have Cornelius Bennett chasing you all over
I'm
the place.
sitting up here safely.
I know. Cornelius Bennett is chasing him all over. I think Anthony Tony gets a good block on Cornelius Bennett, but watch coming from the backside. You see 97? Watch what happens when Murray goes down. Look who's after him. Cornelius Bennett. He was there. He'd have made the play.
Is that some speed?
Oh, is he fast?
Wow. Second down from the 10-yard line.
That's why I said it's easy for us to say, Jim.
Nelson. Murray looking, delivering the ball underneath. It is dropped by Shea Walker. Dropped by Shea Walker. He was hit by John Hand at the 6-yard line. And it is third down and goal to go. Golden opportunity for the Aggies, spreading 7-0.
That wasn't a bad pass play because they would have had the ball about the 2 or 3 yard line and they could still either run or pass. But now on third down, they're going to have to go into the end zone with it. Shea Walker hit him in the hands. It looked like he turned to run before he had control of the football. Now you have to throw the ball into the end zone. Valentine comes in.
He's usually a blocker, and now here's another timeout called by Kevin Murray. And why not? You don't want to ruin this opportunity to score. Down by a single touchdown, 2:56 to go in the first half. It's third down from the 10-yard line, third and goal to go.
Well, they don't have to worry about calling timeout anymore because they don't have it.
A reminder again that we have got Thursday night football, Paul, starting October the 3rd. And each Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific time, we'll have aside from our CFA games, we'll have such games from the Pacific Coast Athletic Conference in Grambling State. Eddie Robinson is going to try to surpass Paul Bear Bryant. We'll see some of the best Division 1A and 1AA players in the nation. Remember Don Gaynor out of Long Beach State? What a good passer he is. You'll see him, too. It's our Thursday night specials. They don't start until October the 3rd, but mark it down. You'll see some outstanding players, not in Division 1, but some outstanding football players.
And the first week that's going to do it is old Miles Davis, the coach. You know he's good to see up here at the booth?
What?
Raleigh Dodge and Bob Gates from the Birmingham Stallions. He did a lot of games down here.
Oh, you wonder what the future of that team in that league is. All right, third down, goal to go. Ford is one of the wide receivers. He's just in there. Murray is back, running, setting it up, and he's got Woodside, and Woodside is inside the 5-yard line, and Turner takes him out of bounds. Keith Woodside, and now decision time. The 3 from Eric Franklin.
Go for it.
Or do you go for it?
Go for it.
What do you do?
Jackie, you don't need 3, you need 7. He's going to go. Here comes Murray, and they had everyone coming on this blitz. Here's Cornelius Bennett. He's trying to get their cheek, does a good job on him. And here's Woodside downfield, making the catch. Turner is the defensive man that keeps him in the touchdown. Now they're going to go with a field goal.
Eric Franklin is in there. He missed from 40 and 45 yards out. But then again, the Aggies showed the ability, Paul, to move the football and stopped only themselves on many occasions with their dead ball fouls of illegal motion. 15 yards on 3 separate occasions on that drive alone.
You know, and it is good to kick here because this team is struggling, and they have to come away here with some points. We got a timeout by Alabama. Texas A&M, they can't take timeout because they don't have any. But, I mean, just to give this team some confidence. There's 2:51 remaining in the second quarter. Put 3 points on the board, delay a game. Again,
They refuse it.
yeah, they don't want to
Probably
put
want
it
a little bit better angle on that ball to kick it. But it's going to be a 19-yard field goal attempt by Eric Franklin, who had not missed before and has this ankle now as they refuse the delay of game. Make it just about a 20-yard.
He got it.
He got it. And the Aggies are on the board. With 2:46 to go in the first half, they stopped themselves a lot. Alabama stopped them a lot. They settled for the field goal of 20 yards. And with 2:46 to go in the half, 7-3, Alabama leads. While you watch their smiles, listen to me. At halftime, a lot of upsets in football today. George Grant will have them all, plus Jackie Sherrill and Ray Perkins, opposing coaches tonight, in their years on 2 national championship teams, both playing for Paul Bear Bryant here at Alabama. Bobby Humphrey, the freshman, is deep. He started and as a kick return man tonight and later played some at halfback. And Scott Slater will kick the ball off. 7-3. We've got 2:46 to go in the half. Much better kick this time, and this is Humphrey. Now remember, he's got great speed, this freshman. Takes it at the 6-yard line, and you can see the speed in front of the corner. And he is bumped out of bounds on a fine play by Wayne Asbury, the free safety, number 16, who has some speed of his own. But he gets the ball across the 30-yard line, and now let's see how Alabama plays it, Paul. In the last 2.5 minutes, 7-3 the lead in their own territory, whether they again try to run it out or maybe open it up a little bit. As you can see, Shula has only thrown twice today. Once was a great catch for first down inside the 5. Another time, Richardson dropped the ball. Good pass.
At the beginning of the game, to win this game, he's going to have to put the ball in the air. And I would put it in the air now. But they're not.
Turner, first man through for 2 yards. And listen to the crowd.
They're not wrong either.
You know, I'm just thinking, the shadow of Bear Bryant is over Ray Perkins, and the memories of Bear Bryant in the minds of all Alabama fans. But I don't recall the Bear ever having been booed. He was a special kind of man, and Ray Perkins is trying to carve that kind of niche for himself here in the state of Alabama. But it's a tough go replacing a man like that. Second down. And this is Bragg trying to get outside, and a good play there.
And they should have called a holding penalty on Richardson because he was holding Terrence Brooks on the outside. Number 27 as that sweep went outside.
Helm pushed him out of bounds. That stopped the clock. The ball at the 35-yard line. They'll bring in Jimmy Hawkins as a 5th defensive back. And they'll take out Smith, who is a linebacker. Richardson left and Bell to the right. Backs are split on 3rd and 6.
Throw to that big tight end, Chandler.
Shula gets Bell, and Bell gets the first down. All the way out to midfield. Well, they talked a lot about him on the Georgia game, and he did have 2 touchdowns, including the winning touchdown. But Al Bell gives something Alabama they haven't had in seasons.
All right, Johnny Holland's back in coverage, and he's taking a look to the outside. He checks the tight end, and now he's going to come in. He tried to go for the ball on Bell, but watch, he gets back up. He's still in the play. He doesn't make it, but he's hustling. But this team can throw the football. When you have Bell and Richardson, go ahead and throw it. There you go.
On first down, Shula throws it to Turner coming out of the backfield. And Turner gets away from Holland and is put down by Domingo Bryant. First down near the 35-yard line, 1:29 left. They'll stop the clock while they move the sticks.
Jim, Shula has an awful lot of targets out there, and Turner is just a checkoff man. What happens is the linebacker falls down on the outside. Johnny Holland misses the tackle, which is rare, and Bryant, number 6, makes the tackle. But they're moving the ball, throwing it.
7-3 Alabama. Last minute and a few seconds. Braggs has the ball here in the first half. And that was Lamar Kelm, number 65, holding on to Braggs, who picks up 5 yards down to the 31. 2nd and 5, and just about a minute to go in the first half.
Braggs is a good runner, but they're also getting pretty good blocking. What passing does, it opens up the running game. They were not able to run the ball. Braggs gets down low, picks up about 5 yards. but that keeps the clock moving. There's 47 seconds and counting.
And they got 3 timeouts, and they can't save them till the next half.
Yeah, they're no good then. Here comes the blitz.
And there goes Shula. Down and back at the 40-yard line. Sadler the first to reach him. Number 99.
Take a timeout.
They take a timeout. They're first of the half with 31 seconds to go. But instead of having the ball down at the 31, they've got it the 3rd down, back at the 40, 3rd and 19 to make that 14 to go.
Rod Sadler, 99, is the man that finally gets them. They had a deal on in the line, but they also had a full-scale blitz coming, and Shula just waited too long. They can't hold him out that long. Jim, you know, when they completed the pass to Turner, they had 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock. Then they ran a play to Bragg. Took the clock down to about 1 minute and 10. They ran another pass play. They have 31 seconds on the clock. They had 3 timeouts at that time. I don't understand why you don't use your timeouts. You're right. You can't, when you take them in at halftime, they're all gone.
Illinois, which lost a week ago in their opener. Some of them picked them to win the Big Ten, losing again to Southern Illinois, 17-6. George Grant will have all those upset scores and those usual routine victories. There weren't too many of those today. Penn State barely got by Temple. West Virginia barely got by Duke. Florida got tied. Lots of stories. Richardson goes to the left, Bell to the right. It's 3rd and 14, 31 seconds to go in the half. Ball at the 40-yard line of Texas A&M. Bell, the man in motion, and Shula drops back. Bell right across the middle, and they throw over his head, and it's 4th down.
Well, Bell ran a nice move, Jim. He ran to the inside on Bryant, number 6, and held him there and then broke back to the outside. Shula just overthrew the pass.
Ball at the 40-yard line, 4th down, and on comes Van Tippen, and this would be a ton.
57 yards.
A ton. He has hit 2 out of 3 between 40 and 49. He hit one of 41 yards and one of 48 yards, and 53 yards is his best. And as Paul said, this will be a 57-yard attempt. From 57 yards out, he's got some leg, and he's got it. That's his best.
Van Tippen drills this ball. When he hit it, I think he knew he had it. 57 yards away, and this ball went straight.
We understand, Paul, that is a school record. They'll read about that afterwards. The fact remains it is a 7-point lead again for Alabama with 21 seconds to go. And Van Tippen comes up. The kickoff again. Well, A&M worked hard for its 3 points. Alabama did not use the clock wisely, but came away with 3 points. But I tell you what, with Kevin Murray at the controls for the Aggies, this ball game is a long way from being over.
Yeah.
And I don't mean 30 minutes and 21 seconds. I mean, it's up in the air.
You know what scares you a little bit, Jim? A guy kicks a 57-yard field goal with a rush coming on him, and they line up the kickoff, and they can't get the ball 60 yards to the end zone. There's nobody near him.
Valentine. And Ira's out to the 10. Cannot get around the corner. Down he goes at the 13-yard line with 15 seconds to go. Sean Lee in to make the stop. Now I would imagine, as we see Kevin Murray coming out, that he will play it conservatively here in the last 15 seconds. They have no timeouts left. Alabama does.
Air it out. Throw one. Throw a bomb.
The ball on the 14-yard line. Last year against Penn State with a 53-yard field goal by Van Tippen. That was the school record, and now the 57-yard field goal record here.
Throw it right down the middle. Now they're going to run it.
Well, that's Vic carrying the ball, and Roger gets out to the 14-yard line. Nobody is stopping the clock. 9 seconds running out. Alabama scored first with a touchdown and scored last with a field goal. And the first half is now over, and Alabama leads by the score of 10-3. Flaggs got the touchdown, and Van Tiffen and Franklin got the field goals. 10-3 Alabama. We've got a big second half coming up and a big halftime coming up. Let's leave Legion Field, Alabama, and go back to our studios for all the scores and the features at halftime. Here now.
Football game. You're talking of two coaches who have faced each other and known each other for many years. We're talking of Ray Perkins, the man who leads Alabama, and also Jackie Sherrill. Both Jackie Sherrill and Ray Perkins hail from the state of Mississippi, and both took their athletic prowess to the University of Alabama in the 60s. The legendary Bear Bryant recruited both men as fullbacks, but when they matured as football players, their roles had changed. Sherrill remained an offensive back as a hard-driving part of the Bears' 65 edition that won the national championship. Perkins was shifted to end and developed into the primary receiver in Alabama's offense. The championship year for these men was capped by an Orange Bowl win over Nebraska, where Perkins caught a record-setting 9 passes. Ironically, the next time he returned to the Orange Bowl, Perkins was on the other side of the field as he watched Joe Namath lead the Jets to a win over the Colts. For Ray Perkins, tonight is a game of mutual admiration.
I think it's going to be nice to see him cross the sideline, visit with him during the pregame warm-ups. Certainly, he's done a great job everywhere he's been, and I've looked at him and followed him with a lot of interest. And our paths have crossed. He came by to see us when we were at New England. He was coaching in college, and also when I was at New York. But there's a little bit of a special interest there, but not a great amount. It's more on my part. I'm sure it is his from a team standpoint. I'm sure he's got more interest in how his team does rather than him against Ray Perkins, or in my case, Ray Perkins against Jackie Sherrill.
After successful coaching stints at Washington State and Pitt, Sherrill took over the reins of A&M in '82. His players know this game is important.
I think it's a special game for us because, you know, we feel like we owe Coach Sherrill something. He's been here 4 years, and a lot of people have been on his case about not winning. And, you know, by winning this game, I think it'll be a big win for him.
I'm sure that right before game time, when I walk out on the field and remember that there was a lot of times on that field that you had a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and had a lot of joyful time. We won a lot of games on Legion Field. There is a lot of feeling, but I don't have it at this time. I'll have it maybe when we kick off.
These two men who also shared a national championship share one other fact as well. Neither man likes to talk about it, and neither program, neither school likes to talk about it. But it's clear both of them are on the hot seat, much like, as we talked about earlier, Jerry Faust, the man who leads the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Because it was a generation ago that Alabama last had a losing season. They had one last year. They're off to a 1-0 start so far this year. Texas A&M was 6-5 last year, and you know the pressure is on Sherrill to be a bowl team in '85. Let's take a look at halftime statistics and a look at highlights of this first half. Alabama's opening possession of the game, ball control drive with Chester Bragg's 2-yard TD run, making it 7-0 after the conversion. Then the Bama defense took over. Gang tackling forced this Anthony Toney fumble to kill one drive. And then the Crimson Tide refused to yield any running ground through the whole first half. Leading 7-3 in the final seconds, it was a situation that Alabama had a chance to build that lead back up again to 7 points. How did they do it? They did it with a Van Tiffen field goal, 57 yards worth of field goals. That is a school record, and Jimmy Harper gave the signal for the conversion. Alabama has the lead by a score of 10-3 at halftime. Jim and Paul will be back with a look at some of the first half statistics. And when we return, we'll take a look at some of the color and festivities.
3 Alabama, and Alabama will get the ball to start the second half.
Well, they won the toss and deferred, and Texas A&M wanted to win, so they kicked off. Now, Texas A&M, they will kick off in the second half against the wind, and they will have it in the fourth quarter. All right, when you take a look at it, Jim, the one thing that's not in there that's really cost Texas A&M are the 7 penalties you talked about for 33 yards. There is 1 turnover in there. 190 yards total to 108. Of course, the only stat that makes any sense to anyone is the 10-3 score, Alabama ahead. But again, it's the penalties, the mistakes, and that comes, Jim, we talked about at the beginning of the game. We were saying, who's going to get hurt in this ball game? Alabama had 1 game under their belt, Texas A&M not playing a game, and the mental errors that they're making Texas A&M is the thing that's keeping them out of the ball game right now. But as we said at the beginning, Alabama, in order to win this football game, I got to believe they've got to throw the football and throw it more than they're throwing it in the first half.
Only a touchdown difference between the two as Mike Shula begins to warm up. Now Bell down there, number 1. That was a touchdown combination last week that won the ball game against Georgia. And that was the combination that got Alabama first down inside the 5. On the other side of the field, Kevin Murray is warming up. Stump started the ball game, but Murray, who was hurt after 3 games last year, has come on, a sophomore. Stump was 5 for 5, and Murray was 7 for 10. That's not bad passing. Bobby Humphreys, a deep man, as Scott Slater will kick off. So Alabama gets the ball back, leading 10-3, has the wind at its back, but A&M, the Aggies, will have the win in the 4th quarter. Slater kicks off. And that is Humphrey at the 8-yard line. A lot of speed, this young man, a lot of speed. And taken out of bounds. Across the way, but he's crossing the Aggie territory. Bryant took him out of bounds. Oh, Shula will bring his team out with outstanding field position.
It's a 36-yard return. Watch Humphrey. What happened is the Texas Aggies, they went down and they sacrificed themselves instead of getting position. And you cannot let Humphreys get to the outside. And once he gets to the outside, could have been gone. Bryant's there to make the tackle.
The ball is in Alabama territory at the 43-yard line. Turner and Braggs the setback. Richardson and Bell the wide receivers. And Shula to throw on first down if he can get it away, and he cannot get it away. As quickly, Todd Howard, the linebacker, junior out of Bryan, Texas, makes the tackle for a loss. Back at the 42-yard line. And that is a loss of 7 yards, 2nd down 17.
Now we'll hear the people in the stands saying, why are you passing if you're going to get sacked? That's the 2nd time in a row that Shula's been sacked.
Ray Perkins on your left, Jackie Sherrill on your right. They were teammates at Alabama, 64, 65, 66. And let's go back in time to what they looked like then. I think they look better now.
Oh, yeah.
Look meaner then.
You're supposed to yell and scream when they took your picture.
There is Braggs carrying the ball across the 40-yard line. It will still be 3rd down and better than 10 yards to go. And Sadler was in on the tackle along with Jay Muller, the 2 defensive ends. 3rd down and 13 to go. 10-3, early 2nd half. Alabama and Texas A&M, Legion Field, Birmingham. There's Warner Lewis, who set a few records, all the records here, throwing the ball for Alabama, surpassing those of Sloan and Stabler and Namath and the rest. Bell, the man in motion, and Shula back to throw. Gordon Long, remember, gets it out here, and look at this. Bell could not get to it. Would not have been a first down had he caught it at midfield. So in 3 plays, they lose 3 yards, and Chris Moore will have to kick the ball away. Jimmy Hawkins comes on to receive back inside the 30.
Sadler was right in Shula's face again.
There's Hawkins. And you're looking from behind Chris Moore. Mike Bobo, the fullback, hasn't been in the ballgame as a running back tonight. Played a lot against Georgia. They've gone pretty much all the way with Turner. Good kick. Good kick. Let this go. He'll let this go. I hope. No, he's going to catch it inside the 10. That ball would have gone in the end zone. Cannot believe it. Jimmy Hawkins, a veteran punt return man, caught the ball. 10-3 Alabama. The Aggies are in the hole. Tonight's game from Legion Field, Birmingham, Alabama and Texas A&M, brought to you by Bud Light, the light beer with the first name and taste. Everything else is just a light. By IBM and the growing family of IBM personal computers. Ball at the 5-yard line, first down, Texas. Stump comes out. He started the game, and down in this territory where running is a situation, he starts the 2nd half. Tony with the football, and that's a good run by Tony of 7 yards out to the 12-yard line.
Jim, let's go back to the punt. First of all, Moore kicked the ball 54 yards. But Hawkins, it's one of the things that I don't like about a single safety. Even though he lined up at the 20-yard line, when he starts to backpedal, here comes Moore hitting the ball. He's a 2-step kicker, but he does shuffle his feet. I'll give him 2.5 steps. But this ball hangs in the air. What Hawkins does when he goes back, Jim, he's backpedaling. He has no idea where he is. should let the ball go if he had a man there to tell him that.
Nelson, the man in motion, and the ball is handed off again to Tony, and Tony does not get the first down. And guess who? Down at the bottom there, you'll see number 97 get up, Cornelius Bennett. Another man all the way down at the bottom, number 90, Joe Godwin, the other linebacker.
Cornelius Bennett does play very well. You think he fills the hole? Did you see when he slides across, Jim, how he gets his body square with the runner? Now that runner has no chance but to go down right there.
Third down and short. They want to make this, or else their kicker will have to kick into the wind from deep in their own territory. Again, that is Tony, and I think he may have it. Maybe across the 15-yard line, and that's all he needs.
He got it by half the ball.
He got it. That was what they call a dicey situation for the Aggies. Starting at the 5, they'd have to kick against the wind.
Okay, here comes number 25, Tony, or Anthony Tony, but he's just power running in there, and you can see that Wayne Davis, number 58, the linebacker, tried to fill the hole, but Tony got underneath it and got just enough for the first down.
Senior out of Salinas, California. First down Aggies, 10-3 Alabama, early third quarter. Woodside, the man in motion, and then giving the ball to Tony again, and Tony makes another fine run of nearly 4 yards out near the 20-yard line with Jarvis hanging on. Jarvis, the nose man, junior, out of Gardendale, Texas, or Alabama, rather. Jackie Sherrill. Funny thing, they both played for Alabama, but both Sherrill and Perkins came out of the state of Mississippi. Second down. About 6 to go. Stump, passing from his own territory, and has his tight end, Rich Seiler. And Seiler's got the first down. Wayne Davis to make the stop.
Jim, their right tackle, Doug Williams, now he's 6'6", 288 pounds. You take a look at him, how quick he gets back off the ball. Now he's just waiting on the outside, and the man that's coming in was number 79 Soul, and he just does the job.
First down, excuse me, from the 28-yard line. First down, Shea Walker wide left, Jeff Nelson to the right. And Andrew Toney with the ball again, and they're finding a spot there and pick up 5 or 6 yards. Across the 30, they've wedged this ball out. Remember, the drive started on the 5-yard line.
Where does Andrew Toney play?
Where did he play?
Andrew Toney is a basketball player, 7'6". You said Andrew Toney. It's Anthony Toney.
Andrew Toney instead of Anthony Toney. After you said Tony?
Yeah, that's right. I said Tony. You did. But here are the blocking in the line. And just take a look at Tony does get a hole. Cornelius Bennett almost had an arm on it. But Seiler, the tight end, number 84, got a piece of him. That's all you really have to do.
Second down and 5 from the 33. Stump hands the ball over again to Anthony Toney, and he gets out to the 36-yard line. Third down and short. I guess if you'd ask Jackie Sherrill and Ray Perkins, one of the big differences between the time they played in the colleges and pros until now, Jackie Sherrill, this is his 4th year at Texas A&M. His teams have never played on a grass field, only artificial turf fields, nor will they play on a grass field this year. So that's 4 years of always playing on an artificial surface, and that's a big change in football in the last decade. Third down and a couple of yards to go. And now, don't tell me they moved again.
Yeah, moved again.
Don't tell me they did it again. This will be the 8th penalty. Looked like Dawson did it. Randy is a senior guard.
Don't be surprised to see Texas A&M go back to grass.
But don't be surprised if you're right again, because every time it happens, it's either second or third and very short yardage. And they take them back to third down and 7 out. It's 3rd and 2.
Now we got to throw again, and the guy that we're looking at, the last play was the tight end, Seiler, and they're trying to cover him with a linebacker. You go back to the tight end.
Stump. Oh, hit just as he went to throw the ball by John Hand, the big number 78 coming in from his tackle position. It's 4th down. 9:23 left. 10-3 Alabama. We're in the 3rd quarter.
When you see Stump go back down, he is looking for his tight end, number 84, Seiler, coming across. But Wayne Davis, 58, bumps him and knocks him off. And just as he's getting ready to throw, John Hand gets a piece of Stump, and down he goes. The ball just went down the middle of the field.
Now the ball to be kicked away by Todd Shantz. His first kick of the game, Stump's kick one. Look at this into the wind, backing up Greg Richardson to the 25-yard line, and look out Greg Richardson. Down he goes after about a yard return at the 26, put down by Bryant. 10-3 Alabama leads third. Elsewhere tonight, the Illini have untracked themselves, leading Southern Illinois now 21-17, second quarter, third quarter. Arkansas, Mississippi, no score. Syracuse still trails Mississippi State 10-3 at the half. Tulane leads TCU. There's a surprise, second quarter 10-3. And Ohio State barely over Pittsburgh, 3-0 in the third quarter. Talk about defense. Humphrey and Turner the setbacks for Alabama. That's Bobby Humphrey, the speedster freshman, with no place to go at all. Johnny Holland, number 11, led the way, and Wayne Asbury, the free safety, was also in there. Second down and 8 to go from the 28-yard, make it the 29-yard line.
We talked defense. This Texas A&M defense, we talked about at the beginning, they are tough. They're really hanging into this ball game.
They're picked about 4th by the Southwestern Conference writers to finish 4th, I should say, but behind SMU, Arkansas, maybe in there with Houston in 3rd. Second down, and here goes Turner trying to go on that side, and Turner does a good job of it and gets across the 35-yard line and very close to the first down. Terrence Brooks makes the stop. Alabama's almost penalty-free, a single penalty thus far for 5 yards.
But watch the offensive line fire out. Now, everybody fires off the ball. Gilmer's in there, Neighbors in there, Condon's in there, and they get to the legs right away. A good block downfield by Richardson. For a wide receiver, he blocks very well.
Third down and maybe a foot to go. Two tight ends as Howard Cross joins Thornton Chandler. No throwing at all tonight to tight end.
No.
Oh, if he made it. Don't know if he made it. Humphrey went up. Humphrey came down. Johnny Holland is the man who met it.
Humphrey almost gets buried by Holland, number 11. You want to see a man anticipate a hole and hit? Watch this. Get rid of the blocker and then watch right in the head. Oh, excuse me, that wasn't it. You know, it was Lance Jackson, number 5. But Johnny Holland was in there. Lance Jackson took a shot at Humphrey. That's beautiful.
Let's see whether or not they got the first. Oh, I think they did get it. Or did they? We can't really tell from this. He got the first down. Got the first down. 7:50 to go, third quarter, 10-3. Alabama, the Tide has a first down at its own 36.5-yard line. Aggies in their first game, off 2 victories at the end of last year over TCU and Texas. Their best ever season under Jackie Sherrill, 6-5. First down. Shula on first down. Has a safety valve out here, and Turner, that may have been the play he wanted all the way. Turner gets out to the 44-yard line before he is knocked down. We said earlier, Paul, that Dr. Joab Thomas, the president of Alabama, was in here at halftime. And I recall to him that Jackie Sherrill had him when he came in his first year as his biology teacher. Dr. Thomas said, he's always saying that. Second down and about 3 to go.
It's a little different with that formation and coming out of the backfield because they had Humphrey and Turner going in the same direction, and they just slipped it to Turner.
Here's Shula carrying the ball on the option play. Lost the football, and let's see who got it. They say the Aggies got it. Asbury, number 16. Todd Howard hits Shula. He dropped the ball. Asbury jumped on it. Well, that's the first turnover for Alabama. They had a fumble before. Shula recovered it. This time Shula himself fumbles, and Asbury gets it.
Well, Todd Howard, it looked for a second like he was going to get himself caught back to the inside on Dave Johnson there. But watch the speed of the outside linebacker. He makes the hit on Shula. Asbury gets the ball. It is now Texas Aggie at the 50.
Timeout. We'll be back. When Asbury recovered the fumble to give the Aggies the ball at midfield, and Kevin Murray has come in as the quarterback, and he's back to throw on first down. Has the time, has the man. Nelson, first down, 35-yard line, Alabama. Murray hits Nelson right away, and here come the Aggies, trailing by 7.
All right, we're looking at Roper, the linebacker. Now, he's just backing off. They're covering the middle. They take middle first. Here comes Nelson to the outside. and he's looking back at the quarterback. When he looks back at the quarterback, Jim, he loses sight of the wide receiver who already slipped outside.
Tony Thompson, a freshman wide receiver, wide to the right, but they give the ball instead to Roger Vick. And Vick picks up 5 yards down to the 30-yard line. Aggies must be hoping for an error-free drive here. No more of those penalties. They've got 8 so far to 1 for Alabama. There's been a turnover apiece. Next week, Paul and I will be in South Bend, 7:30 Eastern Time. And Notre Dame will host Michigan State, which today defeated Arizona State. Notre Dame lost to Michigan in an upset at Ann Arbor. Murray back. He's got them strong. Oh, look at this. Walker will be out of bounds, though. Walker will be out of bounds. And it's second down, or third down and 5 from the 30.
Jim, I think what they're doing is shortening up the count now so that you don't get the offensive lineman moving. All right, here's Walker going down, and he is open for a second. That's Turner coming in, but he's also out of bounds. That's no good.
Third and 5, 6:03 to go in the third quarter. Shea Walker's made some outstanding catches today. That wasn't bad, but it didn't count. Now we have Bernstein, a tight end, who is split wide to the left. The wide receiver's on the right side. They shovel the ball ahead to Roger Vick, and Vick is immediately wrestled down by number 55, Derek Thomas, a reserve linebacker. And it's fourth down. Everybody was fooled, with a few exceptions. One of those was Derek Thomas, who put down Vick.
Now they're going to go for it on fourth down. They're into the wind.
Aggies may lose this, but I'll come away from this thinking that Kevin Murray has the arm they told us he had.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't say anything yet.
I said that.
That's right.
We got better than a quarter to go. Fourth down and 4 to go. Murray always got the first down. Right there to catch it is Keith Woodside. Now they're marking it just inside the 25, and that should be enough.
Take a look at here now. Murray steps back. He's got the blocking, no problem at all. Matt Wilson really didn't have anyone to block, who is the center, but take a look when he hits Woodside. Woodside was beyond the mark. Got down. That's heads-up play by the back coming out of the backfield. Know where the marker is. Know where your first down is. You know Murray can get it to you.
10-3 Alabama. Aggies first down at the Alabama 25-yard line. And look at Vick go ahead. He picks up about 5 yards before he is stopped. Ricky Thomas, the strong safety.
We got a flag down, Jim. I don't know whether we got motion again.
Well, Jimmy Harper will tell us. Holding against the Aggies. Penalties have hurt him.
I don't know for sure, but I kind of got the feeling that they shortened up that count a little bit. The only problem with doing that, if you go on the first sound, is that you can't audibilize when you get to the line of scrimmage.
By my count, that's 9 penalties to 1 for Alabama.
Well, it's the smart thing.
Holding on offense.
The smart thing to do here now is you've got first down and 20. You just take half of that. Play it as the first down play. Just take half of it.
First down, 20 to go. Ball inside the 35-yard line, nearly to the 34. Bernstein goes to the right. Shea Walker and Jeff Nelson left. Woodside is flanked. Murray flips the ball behind the intended receiver, who is Bernstein, the tight end.
Jim, the problem that time is Murray had his own man in his face. When he rolls out, you're going to see, I don't know whether it's the lineman Doug Williams or not, or it was 33 Woodside. Take a look here. Because when he goes to set up, there's going to be one of his own men sitting right in his face, and it is. It's Woodside, number 33, and Murray had no chance to see the receiver.
Second down and 20. Murray has his man Nelson. What a catch, and he may have the first down.
He does.
On second down 20, Nelson falls out of bounds with the ball, and I believe it's a first down.
Well, if they put it on the line, he's going to be short by about 6 inches. But take a look at Murray. He also has Vick going down the sideline, number 43, the back. But take a look at Nelson. Great hands, concentration, turns back to the football, gets that foot down inbounds. You only need one.
Third down and inches. They did put the ball just out of the 15-yard line. 10-3 Alabama. The Aggies third in inches after having a second down and 20. Tony Thompson, Shea Walker, the wide receiver. Oh, don't tell me it's going to be another dead ball foul for the Aggies. We're not rooting against Alabama or for the Aggies, but they've just made that mistake over and over. Maybe this will go the other way.
No, Jim, there's no penalty. You know what happened is the center and the quarterback were the only two people that moved, and that's legal. They were allowed to do it. It was a game where everybody else sat.
Do me a favor. Go down and tell that to Kevin Murray, will you? Because he's asking the official what happened. Now Cornelius Bennett is asking him.
The center snapped the ball, and they went that quick, and it was only the center and the quarterback. You have to go. You have to go. Watch this. The only two people, these guys are sitting there. But what happened was the quarterback never got the ball. Murray, Matt Wilson, I got to believe this was called because you don't see any of these guys moving anywhere.
All right, it's fourth down. It did not work.
Try it again. Try it again.
Fourth down and inches. And there goes Murray. He's got the first down. Murray dives himself and has the first down. First down inside the 15-yard line.
There really is a funny scene, though, when only the center and the quarterback move, and the rest of the guys are sitting there with their arms on their legs, and people down the other end are trying to figure out what's going on. Here comes Murray now. He goes right over Wilson, the center. They had the right defense on. They had the two inside people going right towards the quarterback, but they picked it up.
Nelson right, but Shea Walker is way left, one-on-one. They give the ball instead to Vick, and Vick gets good yardage down near the 7-yard line. 10-3 Alabama. Here come the Aggies. 3:45 to go, third quarter.
And you know what else they've done in this quarter, Jim? They've only given that ball to Alabama twice in this quarter, and they're running the clock out of the quarter and moving the ball down in the scoring position.
And now they will get the win of the fourth quarter.
Right.
You're right.
Here we go again. This is Vick, and they're blocking very well. The center, we talked about Matt Wilson on Jarvis, and that is a key matchup in this game. He just takes them off the line of scrimmage.
Second down. Whoops, no place to go there for Vick. Wayne Davis leads the way, number 58.
That is how
third down
to fill a hole. Wayne Davis just showed you. Okay, Valentine comes in. Anthony Toney comes in.
Shea Walker comes out. Keith Woodside comes out.
Vick comes out.
This is third down and about 2. The ball on the 5. They give the ball to Toney trying to get outside, and Toney may have the first down. First and goal to go inside the 3. Toney.
Anthony Toney just buried his head. They're coming to this side, the left-hand side, and he's following the block of Valentine up in the hole, and he gets hit there. But that's okay because he keeps Roper's the man, number 53, that hits him, but he gets his head down underneath. They pick up the first down, and they just want to... No, I'm not even going to say that. I would say they want to run this clock out, too, and get the ball.
First down with three backs in there. Toney carries the ball and may have picked up a yard.
Ricky Thomas, the strong safety, filling the hole. They're running left, and their big guy is on the right-hand side. Here comes Anthony Toney. Just really no place to go. Rockwell is there.
Here they come again.
Sneak it. Sneak it to the left side.
Here's Toney looking for the end zone and does not get to it. Third down and inches to go. Wayne Davis again. Jackie Sherrill, who played his ball here, has a different kind of anxiety here now. His team down by 7.
The linebackers on both of these teams are very active. Number 53, Roper, he's out there. He cuts Toney back to the inside and gets blocked. That's the center, Matt Wilson, number 50, pulling out, blocking the linebacker. And then Davis makes the tackle.
Remember, this drive started at the 50-yard line when Shula fumbled the ball. Toney carries the ball, touchdown. So the Shula fumble recovered by Asbury resulted in a 15-play drive from 50 yards out, including a big penalty for holding. And now they're a point away from Alabama.
Oh, Jim, and every play was Anthony Toney, number 25, and he's just following Valentine, number 42, into the end zone. He just got right on his back, the man below him. Watch 42 coming in. He knows that he has to take the punishment. He does that. Tony goes right in next to him. They get the touchdown. They got a chance to tie this baby up.
And Eric Franklin is out there with that in mind. Shea Walker to hold. And 9 Alabama at the moment. 1 minute to go, plus 2 seconds. In the third quarter, kicks the ball up, and it is good. Did not look like a terrific type kick, but it got the job done. Our score, minute and 2 to go, third quarter, Alabama 10, Texas. Legion Field is wild. It's a 10-10 game. Scott Slater to kick off. Humphrey, the deep man, and he takes the ball and now decides to come out. And is going to pay the price. About the 10-yard line, Bryant the first to hit him. Could have stayed in, but I think there's a little bit of doubt of whether or not he was in or out, so he had to bring it out.
All right, here's the first of 2 replays we're going to see on the touchdown. The ball is just handed to Toney. He follows Valentine, number 42, right through the hole. Wilkinson just can't make the play. But on the second one, we're going to see Cornelius Bennett, what he does. Watch 97. He's going to grab Valentine to pull him out of the way in hopes that one of his teammates can help. That doesn't work. Tony gets in for the touchdown.
In all of last year, Anthony Toney was trapped behind the line of scrimmage only 1 time the whole year. Turner carries the ball and still has the ball and got a first down. Sneaked along the left side of the line of scrimmage and came out, and Johnny Holland peeled back to put him down. First down, Alabama. Remember that Alabama's playing without Kerry Gould tonight, sitting out with that knee. After the fumble by Shula, the Asbury recovery at the 50-yard line. It took 15 plays before Toney took it in, and our score is tied with 40 seconds to go, third quarter. And Revley looking in the acute dog. Lobo's in for the first time, but this is Humphrey carrying the ball and gets out to the 35-yard line. Good pickup for the freshman of 7 yards. It'll be second down and 3 at the 35.
Now, we talked about it at the beginning of the show. Texas A&M, to win the football game, must be able to run. That they've been able to do, along with throwing passes by Murray and also by Stump.
And Alabama, to win, must be able to throw the ball.
They must throw the ball, and I got to believe in this fourth quarter it's going to come down to that.
Well, they may or may not get this play off. Shula calling the nope, will not get it off. Third quarter is over. Couldn't ask for a better football game at Legion Field, Birmingham, Alabama, on a balmy night. It's a hot game. Alabama, Texas A&M, 10 apiece. Jim Simpson, Paul McGuire. We begin the fourth quarter at Legion Field. It is 10 apiece. Second down and 3.5 for Alabama. They give the ball to Bobby Humphrey, and he is close to getting that 3.5 yards in the first down. Here's something interesting. Before, or I should say until Alabama was tied by A&M with that touchdown, in the third quarter, A&M had 76 total yards, 6 first downs, and the ball for nearly 10 minutes. Alabama had 20 total yards, only 1 first down, and the ball for 4 minutes until A&M went ahead to score. Then, of course, Alabama got the ball back, and Turner had a big run and signals off on those statistics now as we move into the fourth quarter, this 10-10 game. Very, very, well, just that much. A couple of inches to go for an Alabama first down. Alabama gets Cincinnati at Tuscaloosa next Saturday afternoon. And next 2 games for A&M are at home. Next week against Northeast Louisiana, and next Saturday night, Paul and I will be in South Bend, Notre Dame and Michigan State. And that shall be a ball game.
Look out for Michigan State in the Big Ten. George Pearl, he's got that team moving.
Tell you what, when you hold Arizona State to 3 points, that's a defense. You bet. Notre Dame had some problems today with Michigan. They'll have more with Michigan State. Third down and inches to go. They give the ball to the second man through, and Branch has got the first down. Across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. First down, Alabama.
Yeah, they're using that offensive line on that play there. You're going with Neighbors, Gilmer, and Condon. Take a look at right in the middle of the field. They're just going at it. Sammy O'Brien gets knocked back. And when that happens, when the nose tackle gets knocked back, but did you look at number 6 Bryant throw his body in there? There's going to be some sore people when this is over with. Here comes Bragg. And there's number 6 Bryant making a play.
Ball at the Alabama 42. First man is Turner, who has gone nearly all the way. We saw Mike Bobo in there for one play, and all he was doing was blocking on that play. Out to the 45-yard line. Make it the 46 and call it second down and 6 to go. College football back in full swing. ESPN every Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern Time. Big game. And we're happy to say that we do have Michigan State Notre Dame next week, and we're thrilled with this game tonight. The Aggies and the Tide. Second down, that's Humphrey, the freshman. Good moves and some yardage here at midfield before he is knocked down. Funny thing, we thought we would see a lot of Murray Hill, another freshman out of Atmore, Alabama, but have not seen him. Bragg started. Humphrey's replacing. Kerry Good is not playing.
Here comes Humphrey now. It looked to me like maybe he could have gotten back to the outside, but he cuts back in because he's got some good blocking up front by David Johnson, number 60, but he cuts back into the crowd, and now they're in a third and long situation. Third
Alabama needs the first down. Third, a long 3. Schuler's going to throw it out. Oh, look at this. Wide open is Bell. Nice move there. Asbury with him, first down. Tell you what, when you have a weapon like Al Bell, you should try to, excuse the pun, ring it a few times. Well, some kind of receiver.
Wayne Asbury is trying to cover him all the way across the field, and Richardson, number 17, the other receiver, he goes underneath. Take a look at it. Asbury gets stuck right there, and he can't get to Bell. You're going to have to, they should make a switch, play it with the corner, and let the safety pick up Richardson coming the other way.
Ball on the 39-yard line of Texas A&M, first down, Alabama. Humphrey, and he's got speed hard on it for showing, but he won't catch him. Others will. Another first down, Alabama, inside the 25-yard line. Kelm put him down. 10-10, lots of time to go, and here comes a tie. Ball marked at the 23. Chester Braggs comes in. Humphreys goes out after that good run.
Well, now, has it changed that much? They had 108 total, Alabama, at the half, and they picked up another, 45 yards. Not a lot.
First and 10 play. It looked like it might be a broken play as Schuler's going to be thrown down. Both Braggs and Turner shot right by him, and Schuler was left with the football. I don't think, Paul, that was the play call.
No, it was a busted play. He never got it to the back, and I don't know which one he was supposed to hand it off to. They had two of them back there. They had Braggs and Turner. Humphrey comes back in.
Second down and 10. Schuler looking to the bench. Good ball game. Bobby Humphrey has come back in. He may be in for a long time in his career at Alabama.
That's some great speed.
Bell, the man in motion, and Schuler. Oh, Bell is hit as he came across the line of scrimmage and does get loose. The ball is underthrown across there, and that was Domingo Bryant there. But Bell really got a shot as he hit the 20-yard line and couldn't get untangled.
He had a shot, and then Bryant, number 6, is the man. And Schuler should have never thrown this ball to Bell. Now watch when Bell comes underneath. He's going to take a hit right there, but when he goes across, Bryant is right there. This ball was almost intercepted, but it does hit Bell in the hands.
Third down and 10 to go. Landrum, another linebacker, comes in as Schuler goes back on third down. Aims the ball to Richardson right off his kneecaps. It's fourth down. That would not have been a first down where he was.
No, it wasn't. And Landrum, the linebacker that just came in that you mentioned, Jim, was just a little bit late getting across the middle. Had he had one more step, he would have been able to intercept this ball. But here's Richardson. This ball is right in his hands. And you see Landrum, number 26, almost there.
All right, here is Van Tiffen. And it'll be from 40 yards out to put Alabama in front by 3. Tiffin has plenty of leg, but is it straight? Yes. Alabama goes back on top on the 40-yard field goal by Van Tiffin. 11:15 to go in the game. The Tide leads the Aggies by the score of 13-10. Van Tiffin and the 33 points that Alabama scored in the two games. Georgia and tonight's game A&M has scored 15 of those 33 points. He will now pick off. And he gets this well in the end zone, and the Aggies will not bring it out. The ball will come out with the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Flag is down at the 24-yard line. The Alabama drive 67 yards in 10 plays before Van Tiffin booted it in from 40 yards out. Jimmy Harper will tell us what's going on. I hope Jimmy Harper will tell us what's going on. Coming out, and looked like you're going to make him kick it again.
No, it's got to be against Texas A&M. That's for sure.
The ball was in the end zone. Alabama saying we'll take it, whatever it is.
Well, it's either yay or nay.
It's a legal block or something, or clip. That's what it has to be.
I don't understand the long discussions, Jim.
Well, anyway, let's get to some other scores as Jimmy Harper will give us the call.
Clipping on the receiving team while the ball's in the air. That's 15 yards in the previous spot. Alabama will kick again.
They'll kick it again. Okay. 9:30 to go in the game. Illinois over Southern Illinois, 28-25. At the half, Arkansas leads, and that is true. A safety and a field goal by Fred Horn, 5-0. Mississippi State over Syracuse still in the third quarter, 10-3. And TCU climbing closer to Lane, trailing by 3 as they are. These are all tonight's games, and Ohio State still 3-0 over Pittsburgh in the third quarter. Not much offense up there, but a good defensive battle. 56 seconds to go in the half. Rich Spangler kicked the 29-yard field goal for the only score. Oklahoma State, which beat Washington last week, leads North Texas State by a single point.
Jim, here's the ball now. It's Texas A&M's 45-yard line. And here's the situation. If you have the kicker that can angle the ball and kick it straight up in the air and let everybody go down. But you got to remember one thing. And I know that the people at Texas A&M know that you can call a fair catch on a kickoff. But I think that they went to the sideline to talk about it to see if maybe they wanted to try an onside kick here, because if it goes 10 yards, it'll be at the 35.
Well, let me give you a third possibility. Why not just squib it down there?
Do something with it.
A&M has been penalized 10 times for 65 yards. Alabama, I seem to recall a second penalty in this half 2 times. Once in the first half, once in this half. From the 45 of the Aggies, and Tiffin will kick it off. And he just pops it up in the air, and Harry Johnson has it over here and out to the 10-yard line, and that is all. You got it right. Popped it up in the air down to the 10. And now here come the Aggies.
Well, Van Tiffin did the smart thing. He kicked that ball up, and look at how long they had to wait for the ball to come down. And by that time, the whole kicking team was downfield.
Ball at the 10, 1st and 10, 11 to go in the game. Alabama by 3. Jeff Holly has come out wide to the right. First time we've seen him tonight as a wide receiver. They give the ball to Tony for a yard or 2, and that is all. Trying to wedge it out. Kurt Jarvis made the stop. Murray is the quarterback, despite the fact they're deep in their own territory.
Cornelius Bennett has just been playing well. Look, he just fires down the line of scrimmage. Now, they're not even waiting. Or, that was 87. Roberts, not Bennett.
There's Murray in trouble. Will not get out of it. Back at the 5-yard line. Now they've got real trouble. Look like Brent Soule, number 79. Remember, we have to pick our ESPN players of the game for both squads.
Well, Murray back to pass. Now, we're going to just take a look and see if there's what the breakdown is. Jarvis, number 95, he went limping off the field, but this is people coming from the outside. Soul is there, and they're just teeing off. They're looking at run first, and then as they go through and they see that the offensive lineman set up the pass, then they just take off. They have no more run responsibility.
Third down and 14 to go. Whoops, they lost the ball on the handoff to Tony. It's fourth down. They'll have to kick from their own end zone.
They're running a delayed draw, and Murray is trying to get the ball to Tony. As he goes by, watch this. The setup, show pass. Now you hand it out in front.
Alert play by Kevin Murray. And now Todd Chung is at the very back of his end zone, kicking the ball away to Greg Richardson. Line drive kick. Richardson will have it. Oh, he dropped the football and will jump on it. At the 43-yard line of Texas A&M. 9:09 to go in the game. Alabama leads by 3. If you liked our Pittsburgh-Purdue game, our BYU-UCLA game, or this game tonight, can't guarantee anything, but we got a hunch next Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern Time. We'll have another good one here on ESPN. Michigan State and Notre Dame. First down, Alabama at the 44 of Texas A&M. They lead by 3. 9:09 to go. Greg Turner and Bobby Humphrey are your setbacks. That's Turner. He's done all of the carrying out of the fullback slot tonight. Gets down to the 41-yard line. And Steve Bullitt. We keep calling the name of Johnny Holland, but make no mistake, Steve Bullitt has had a good night tonight as an outside linebacker.
Well, talking to Coach Sherrill, the one thing about his defense, he said, you may see 25 different players in there in the game this evening because our first two defenses are as good as one another.
Richardson is not the split end. Number 82, Clay Whitehurst, is. Bell, of course, remains in there. Bobby Humphrey has the ball. The freshman out of Birmingham, and he doesn't have any yardage at all, does he? You can see Holland getting up naturally, along with Lance Jackson and Todd Howard. That's one thing, whether Cornelius Bennett or Johnny Holland make the tackle, they're always around the ball when the play is over.
While everybody else is taking people out of the way. Take a look at here. Now, they're just moving down the line. Sadler is there. Holland is there. Howard is there.
Third down and 6, Alabama. Shula puts the ball out there and has Thornton Chandler. First time they've thrown to a tight end on either side tonight. And that's the first down, Alabama, at the 30-yard line of Texas A&M. They just neglected the tight ends all night long.
It's a beautiful call because they send the wide receivers down, and what happens is that Thornton Chandler, number 81, delays. He sets up the pass block, and then he just releases. It's almost like a tight end screen, but they throw it right across the middle. The linebackers retreat. They give him running room. They're at the 30-yard line and driving.
I'm going off the clock. 7:35 left in the game. Alabama by 3. First down at the A&M 30. And there's Turner, big wide hole, and he gets 4 or 5 more before he is driven back by Johnny Holland and Lamar Kiln. As we said, Alabama next week gets Cincinnati down at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. And A&M goes home. This is the first away opener for Jackie Sherrill since he's been there. The next 2 games are at home at College Station, Northeast Louisiana next week, and in 2 weeks, Tulsa. Chester Bragg checks back in. Bobby Humphrey goes out. Remember, Kerry Coon is not playing tonight. Knee problems. Not out for the year. Just adhesion. Here's Shula handing off to Chester Bragg, who got maybe a yard, and it'll be third down and 4 from the 24-yard line. Clock is all in the favor of the Tide, but they need another first down or 2 and some more points. And they preferably, naturally, anybody would rather have a touchdown, but 3 points still gives Texas A&M with the ball a chance to win the game. Hawkins has gone in, and they've taken out Bullitt, a linebacker, so we're going with the nickel defense here on a third down and 4 situation. Almost no flag. Shula in trouble. Down he goes, 4th down. Great job by the Aggies. Keeps them in the ball game. The ball at the 35-yard line.
Number 11.
And it's 4th down and 15 to go.
You see something? They saw him coming on the blitz. Watch Holland. He's going to step up in there, and once he does, the guard blocks out, the center blocks down, and the man who missed him was Turner, number 44, the fullback. Did not block Holland. He was in his face, and so was Todd Howard, the other linebacker.
Well, since Van Tiffen has set a school record tonight with a 57-yard field goal, they will now try a 51-yard field goal. He is kicking into the wind. It is not a strong wind. But now we see it slowly, and that is going to do it from 51 yards out. Van Tiffen with his 3rd field goal of the night. Alabama leads by 6, 5:28 to go.
And there really wasn't that much doubt. It just seemed like a long time, but Van Tiffen hits that ball, and he knows that all he wants to know now is that there's enough. Hey, look at Perkins. That's good.
No one in Legion Field, players or fans or coaches, believes this game is over. A touchdown and A&M can go ahead. Whoops, they take the ball across the way, and Nelson gets it back only to the 10-yard line. And that's all. So now again, Kevin Murray will come in with 90 yards to go. Remember, the last time they got the ball at the 10, wound up kicking from nearly out of their own end zone.
Yeah, well, you got people hustling down. That's Gilbert, number 56. Look at this. He hit Valentine, and he got help from his friends hitting someone else. But Nelson did the wrong thing. Jimmy should have never come over to take the ball. It should have been Valentine's ball.
Handoff. Vick carries the ball. And very well for 5 yards, maybe 6. As the Aggies have probably been told by their coach, Jackie Sherrill, you have got a lot of time, folks. You've got a lot of time. Let's stick to what we do best, even though we're starting out on the 10-yard line. Clock now shows 5:03 and counting.
But they have 3 timeouts.
2nd down and 5. And here comes Vick again. Oh, boy, he stood up. It'll be 3rd and short. Vick is absolutely stood up by Randy Rockwell, number 57, the outside linebacker. And that's going to make it 3rd down and about 1.5 yards to go for the 1st down.
We've talked at the beginning about Cornelius Bennett and also Johnny Holland, Jim, but when you're looking at both these teams and in the linebacking core on both teams, you're seeing an awful lot of very good linebackers.
Big play, 3rd and short.
Go left.
Did he drop the ball? And who got it? It's more important.
Alabama's putting her hands up again. That means that Texas A&M has it.
It could be Matt Wilson again, the center, who gets up with the ball. And it's 4th down, and they're sending on their punter. Time left, 4:15.
Thing that really hurt this football team tonight, Texas A&M, and we're not taking anything away from Alabama because it's been a hard defensive football game. We knew that was going to happen, but mistakes, a lot of mental errors.
Al Bell will return this kick. Richardson is not in there. Look out! Gets it away. And a good one. Bell, no fair catch called for at the 31-yard line, and down he goes at the 32. 3:49 left. Alabama 16, Texas A&M 10. Now Alabama wants to hold on to the ball, and Texas A&M wants to stop. Last year, both A&M and the Tide were outscored in the 4th quarter a lot, although A&M by much less than Alabama. Going into the 4th quarter leading, A&M lost 1 game in the 4th quarter. Alabama 3. 1st down for the Tide on their own 32-yard line, leading by 6. That is Turner, and he gets to about the 35-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Clock is running with 3:40 to go. Remember, each team has all 3 timeouts left.
If Texas A&M could hold Alabama on this play, Jim, I would use one of the timeouts now because it'll put them in a 3rd down and long situation and force them to pass the football.
The backs of Turner and Chester Braggs on 2nd and 7. Shula, Turner, Braggs throws a block, but Turner only gets a yard or two, and that is Lamar Kelm, an inside linebacker, putting him down. 3rd down and 5 to go, and no one is called timeout.
No, I would see. Here's where I would take one.
All right,
timeout.
As you started to say that, there's 3:05 on the clock. Now keep on talking, and I'll watch the clock.
All right, now they're putting back in their pass defense, and that's with Hawkins, number 40, comes in as the 5th defensive back.
All right, before they come to the line of scrimmage, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 seconds have gone off the clock, and it's still running. Over 30 seconds from the time the ball was down. Here's Shula putting the ball out for Bell. Oh, is he a weapon for the tie? 1st down, Alabama near midfield. I want to go back to that man again and again. He has opened so much.
But here you take a look at the offensive line. Look at the pass protection this time for Shula. And he's looking at Bell all the way. He's got Bell coming across the field. What happens is Lance Jackson, number 5, did not get any help from Asbury, number 16. They should be playing this guy inside and out when he's running across the field, because you know Shula's going to throw the ball to him.
2:14 to go, 1st down, 48-yard line. And this is Chester Bragg. Bring it upfield, and down he goes. Play made there by Roper, John Roper. Time is called here. A lot of folks here at Legion Field know something that I don't know. They have begun to go on their way home with 1:58 to go and only a 6-point difference. Turnovers, you never would know what's going to happen. It's 16-10, Alabama. The clock, 1:58 to go. Alabama leading by 6. They've got 2nd down and 8. And Paul and I will remind you again, we'll be in South Bend a week from tonight as Notre Dame goes back home from Michigan, where they lost today, to take on Michigan State, which beat Arizona State today.
And I promise we will give you 4 good games in a row, folks. I love it.
2nd down 8. Turner's the man through there, and Turner gets across the 45 down to the 44. That'll be 3rd down and a couple of yards to go. And again, A&M is going to call timeout to stop this clock. Time, Paul, may have run out on them, barring a turnover or some fine defense here.
Yeah, and the one thing about college football, for those of you that may be watching for the first time, Jackie Sherrill is a little upset. They made a lot of mistakes offensively as far as the linemen moving, is that on 1st downs, if you don't know that, the clock stops to move the chains. So you can use your timeouts like they're doing here, but now with down to 1 timeout, they must stop Alabama and force them into a punting situation. If they get another 1st down, this game could be history.
3rd down and 3 from the 44. Alabama trying to get off to a great start, 2-0. And they do have Cincinnati coming in here. Later on in their season, though, they step up. Penn State, Tennessee, LSU, and, of course, Auburn and Bo Jackson, who had another great day today and may already be on his way to the Heisman Trophy.
The way Bo's
just
going,
2 games.
But Bo could have 1,000 yards in 4 games.
He might come close. 3rd down and 3 to go. Nobody but Shula. The naked reverse on the bootleg. He's got the 1st down. Both Turner and Braggs went right. Shula put the ball on his hip and came left, and it's 1st down, Alabama.
Jim, what a super call by Perkins and his staff, because what happened is Steve Bullitt, number 66, the linebacker, is the man that takes the fake. When Shula fakes the pitch, you'll see Bullitt way back in the inside. And when he did that, it left the corner outside, and he had to make the play, in which Terrence Brooks, number 27.
Now Alabama just wants to hold on to the ball. The Aggies only have 1 timeout to stop them. They can just run the plays like this without even picking up a 1st down and run timeout. But now I think the Aggies are going to use their last timeout.
Well, they must. Jim, up until that last play, which is how many yards? 4, 5?
About 4.
Okay. Texas A&M total yardage 294. Bama 239. Ned did 243. So some 51 yards better at this point. But again, the man, when he goes back, he's going to look and say, hey, we made too many mistakes offensively with our line.
10 penalties.
Yeah.
10 penalties. Most of those dead ball fouls at the line of scrimmage for legal motion.
And those are mental errors, Jim. That's what I'm talking about. They weren't aggressive penalties. They were mental errors.
All at the 32-yard line. 1:14 left.
Okay. Now you watch the game. It's all about over. But we wanted to know at the beginning when you asked the question who had the advantage. The advantage was Alabama playing almost mistake-free football. As far as mental errors are concerned, I don't think only had 1 or 2 penalties. And here's 10 penalties for a team they have not played before. The advantage went to Alabama.
And turnovers even at 1 apiece. No, turnovers were not a factor in determining the outcome of the game. Whitehurst, we've not seen Greg Richardson for some time on punt returns or in there trying to catch the ball. Here's Turner carrying the ball again. He is busted loose. And there he goes. Touchdown, Turner! 32 yards. And that does it. His first touchdown of the year. And he didn't play last year because he's redshirted.
Jim, this Texas A&M defense, they played so well, and that man is dejected. But that run by Turner, this offensive line of Alabama stayed in there fighting. Turner looked like he was hit right at the line of scrimmage, but when he broke it through, they were all up playing run. Once that happened, Turner hit the open field. He's gone.
And Tiffin, 3 field goals, adds his second extra point, 11 points tonight for him of the 23 that Alabama has. They lead by 13 with a little bit more than a minute. That $1 million band feels like $1 million now. Their team is out in front of Texas A&M, 23-10. The Aggies finished last year with wins over TCU and Texas, and they'll be heard from. As Paul has pointed out, mistakes, especially penalties, hurt Jackie Sherrill on his return to Legion Field, where he once played for Alabama. Van Tiffin will kick the ball off, 1:07 to go, and now the Aggies are down by 13. In the middle, Valentine is wrestled out inside the 25-yard line.
Jim, again on this touchdown, just look at that offensive line, and they're working in the whole defense. There are 9 people that are up right on the line of scrimmage. The only 2 corners are sitting outside covering. But once Turner gets into the open field, he's gone. Terrence Brooks, number 27, had 1 shot at him with 1 arm. That's not going to happen. Just an excellent call, but great running and good blocking by the offensive line.
Jay Walker goes wide to the left, and Nelson comes to the right. And there's the throw across the middle of Bernstein, the tight end. He's got a first down across the 40-yard line. And Sherrill's Aggies have not given up.
Now that stops the clock. Now they move the chains. There's 54 seconds of holding. They're ready to play on the line of scrimmage. And Alabama they've got Rory Turner that's sitting down about the 20-yard line, Jim. Just wait in case something comes down his way.
Make sure that if it does, stop it. Here's Murray back, and that ball is knocked away. Fine defensive play there by number 55, Derek Thomas, an outside linebacker. 48 seconds to go. This ball game, remember, was tied along the way at 10 apiece. Then Van Tiffin broke it open with field goals of 40 and 51 yards to make it 13-10, then 16-10, and Turner has just iced it with a 32-yard run. Van Tiffin also set the record for Alabama with a 57-yarder earlier. Here's Murray, and down he goes again, and there's that man Larry Roberts out of Dothan, Alabama. He has been there all evening long. Half minute to go. They can't stop the clock now, except by throwing an incomplete pass, and they don't want to do that. 20 seconds to go. Murray fires it up, and Bernstein can't hold on to it. One-armed it. 19 seconds to go, but more importantly, 4th down for the Aggies. Jackie Sherrill take his team back. He's got the next 2 games at home, remember, Northeast Louisiana and Tulsa. This is the game he wanted against his old buddy and former teammate, Ray Perkins, and back in the field where he played his collegiate ball, a lot of it Legion Field. 4th down. They've got to go.
He said, beginning of the week, didn't he? This is one of the toughest teams we'll face all year.
That's right. Murray throws. The ball is completed out there. Woodside got it, but after they moved the sticks, that's not going to be enough.
No, they've got to put the ball. They got to snap the ball because it is a turnover, not a turnover, but
they just didn't get enough for the first down.
Right.
Got to move them. Once they move them, the clock will start. Ray Perkins' team has won 2nd in a row. They had their worst season ever last year, but they're off to a great start this year.
You see him when they on shaking hands with the coach on the side, Jim. There's all these sighs of relief. Whoa, we got out of this. Good game, though. Good game.
Now they'll count it down. All over, Alabama wins its 2nd. The Aggies have lost their opener. Teammates Perkins beat Sherrill. 23-10. Alabama, the final score. Back in a moment with a roundup of tonight's game.